Yeah, buddies. That's from the last waltz. That's Ronnie Hawkins. And this is the Bennington Show all week long, the band, with our Thanksgiving kind of last waltz show going on. This is going to be a great Thanksgiving for us. We've got a lot to be thankful for, and it's an exciting time. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
The man they call Chris Scope Bro Stanley Bennington.
What up, Scope Bros?
You've got a big announcement here to make today. You're giving out your Scope Bro t-shirt signed by him for just hashtag Scope Bro. I'm not in connection with anyone. No one's answering the texts that I'm sending, and the fucking Lappy didn't get set up properly today. So, Stanley, how is, now he's running over here, how is this whole thing going down? How are we doing the Scope Bro contest?
For the free signed Scope Bros t-shirt, you have to tweet hashtag Scope Bros about the Scope Bros.
Now, is it all one word?
Hashtag Scope Bros, one word. Hashtag Scope Bros.
And plural.
Plural, because there's more than one Scope Bro. It's a Scope Bros. It's a Scope Bros nation. Scope Bros army, really.
Really? You're stealing the army thing? Why isn't Scope Bros enough?
God, I love it. And this thing's going to be signed. Piss Stanley. I will sign it exclusively. Piss Stanley.
With urine.
It's going to be huge. This is, I've never had a t-shirt before, and this is the first one we're giving out.
This is your first ever t-shirt?
It's my first ever t-shirt.
It's the first time ever anyone's paid attention, and I'm not even making this up, to Stanley. You know what I mean?
I'm so happy for it.
I'm very, very excited for him. And this all came across, and this delighted me. The ovation that Stanley got was just phenomenal at the Thanksgiving show.
Huge pop for Chris Stanley. Chris Scope Bro Stanley.
And this is after a lifetime of ignoring. Just completely ignoring this. Because he was a fucking backstage Johnny, really.
And I feel like Chris owes a lot of this to his Scope Bros. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's his Scope Bros that really helped him rise to the top.
And the only way to be a true Scope Bro, in my opinion, is to have a Scope Bros t-shirt. And you could win one.
All right, let me check out some of these. Slowly shuffling his feet across the street and into your Periscope. Hashtag Scope Bros. Stanley looks like the last frame of Midnight Cowboy. Hashtag Scope Bros. Oh, that's mine. I'm very excited with that.
Nice.
Ron,
you made it.
You're in the running for a Scope Bros t-shirt.
Buttered rolls and best friends. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Tom Sharpling can suck it. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Not necessary, but good.
All right, this one you're going to love, Gail.
Okay.
He's the steamin' Willie Beeman of streamin'. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Oh, yeah. Shit, that's a really good one.
Because a free t-shirt would be swell. Hashtag Scope Bro. No, they wrote hashtag Bennington. That shouldn't even be there. We certainly ain't talking about mouthwash. Hashtag Scope Bro.
I'm a Listerine boy. Hashtag Scope Bros.
It's like a slow motion internet snuff film, but you can't turn away. Hashtag Scope Bros. I hope you can't catch tuberculosis through a periscope. Hashtag Scope Bros. These are great.
How about this? Help me, Chris Stanley. You're my only scope. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Star Wars!
Oh, yes. Chris got that. He knows that it's Star Wars.
I'll help you out, Princess Leia. Hashtag Scope Bros.
That's stupid. That's stupid.
A monkey went to space. Now a centaur has dominated social media. Hashtag Scope Bros.
That's kind of sweet, though, you know? I kind of feel
nice.
good.
Not a centaur, but thank you. I appreciate the sentiment.
The Centaurment.
Blue blockers certified to shield your eyes from rising regret. Hashtag Scope Bros. It's like watching the Titanic sink. Hashtag Scope Bros. Somehow Chris made me sick too. Hashtag Scope Bros. Where excess is the norm. Hashtag Scope Bros. Shame is for pussies. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Beautiful.
Fueled by buttered rolls, Red Bull, and cigarettes. Hashtag Scope Bros. Dan Marino sucks dick. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Coke Logic writes, for bros, by bros. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Very nice. The Roman Polanski of Periscope. No, not the directing. The KT stuff. Hashtag Scope Bros. Crack a scope and be a motherfucking superstar. Hashtag Scope Bros. Real hashtag Scope Bros shirts come with Stanley's piss, snot, and jizz. Scope Bros, hashtag Scope Bros, where you can win a T-shirt that is signed like a pre-K student.
Exclusive.
Red Bull, the official energy drink of hashtag Scope Bros.
Just had one this morning. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Hashtag Scope Bros of the crosshairs kind. Pretty sure it's open season on Centaurs. These are just fantastic already. Fantastic.
At Brad Stinks, right? A quintuple XL Periscope experience. Hashtag Scope Bros.
You know, he's kind of a real Scope Bro, too, you know?
He is. He's like an OG Scope Bro.
Him and his lackey, Alex the intern, they're ripping me off.
They're basically Google to your Tom Sharpling.
How about who wore it best, Chris Stanley or intern Alex? Hashtag Scope Bros.
Oh, I like that.
I did. Hashtag Scope Bros.
You know, Joey Jojo, I'd like to see you jump in and get a line in on this.
All right. He's call him Francis Ford Scopula. Hashtag Scope Bros.
That's actually pretty good.
Pretty good.
And for the women, call her Sophia Scopula. Hashtag Scope Bros.
No, here's the thing. You're good at wordplay.
Yeah.
That's
You're
your
so
thing.
Thank
funny.
you.
And then bad at everything else.
Yeah. It's so weird.
I'm dying to get him on at midnight.
Well, here's the deal.
Dying.
Points.
It didn't work so much in the contest that we did when a major comedian told him, stop the wordplay and start talking about yourself. And that was it for you, dude.
Broke down the wall there.
Yeah.
Done.
That was the fucking blue pill for that poor bastard. Look at this, Dan. The man, Pearl Man, wants to jump in on it.
Scope Bros in arms slings. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Hashtag Scope Bros.
That's actually pretty good, huh?
Yeah, and it's true.
That's kind of made me almost a little misty.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a limited edition hashtag Scope Bros because this thing's coming off.
Is it? Or are you just going to get an extra one?
I know I'm going to miss it because this arm just feels so good not having to hold it up myself.
Depressing.
When you get the sling off, I'm going to miss the oversized dad shirts that you wear to work every day.
They're so big. It's like I just banged my boyfriend and I'm wearing his shirt to bed.
Hashtag Scope Bros.
Hashtag Scope Bros.
How about blood is thicker than Twitter? Hashtag Scope Bros.
Oh, sweet. I like that. If any of you guys don't have Twitter, I guess you could call 844-ROCK-GOD, 844-ROCK-GOD, and give out your hashtag Scope Bro of the day. Joey's pointing at himself. I like it.
Scoping in the boys' room. Hashtag Scope Bros.
See, he's so good at
Boom.
wordplay. So good at wordplay.
Bigger than a Kardashian ass. Hashtag Scope Bros.
That's sweet and so true.
Sexier.
I don't know about that. I know she wants to get some of that push prize that she's expecting. All right, let me read off some of these. The butter's soft and the cocks are hard. It must be hashtag Scope Bros. Hashtag Scope Bros. Needing a black lung on the daily. That's kind of
all right.
the Pope of Consumption Junction. Hashtag Scope Bros. Watch a downward spiral in real time. Hashtag Scope Bros. Some of these are sad. Some of these are actually sad.
How about
I'm a Scope Bro. Come on, don't be so mean, bros.
how about hashtag Scope Bros? Because Scope Joe's just isn't catching on.
Yeah. If you see one you like, retweet it. I don't know if our gang is doing the same, but these things are pretty good. Hashtag Scope Bros. Light up and cough. When you're with Stanley, they don't drop the scope. Hashtag Scope Bros. Spreading disease one blackout at a time. Hashtag Scope Bros. Hashtag Scope Bros. I can listen while I drive. I don't know how to shoot a video on a phone. Hashtag Scope Bros. Hashtag Scope Bros are the Hells Angels of Twitter. Well, that's pretty good. I like that.
Hashtag Scope Bros have minty fresh breath from menthol cigarettes.
Oh, that's sweet.
And true.
Here's Rocky. Rocky in Long Island.
See a gluttonous piece of shit slowly kill himself. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Oh, I like that a lot.
I like the gluttonous part, not so much the piece of shit part.
I thought it worked.
I thought the whole thing was good, actually.
Chris Stanley is the Scope Pope of Astoria. Hashtag Scope Bros. Hashtag Scope Bros riding along with Pepper Hicks at 5 a.m. bros. Squatting on this dirty dick Twitter handle. Hashtag Scope Bros. I'm really fucking high right now. Hashtag Scope Bros. Hold the stuffing past the scopes. Hashtag Scope Bros. I don't know how to inhale. Hashtag Scope Bros. Chris Stanley, the founder of Scope Bros Anonymous. Hashtag Scope Bros. Can you get secondhand smoke from Periscope? Find out. Hashtag Scope Bros. Fuck Jenny Butt. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Scope Bros.
He really started not only just a radio war, but a scope war.
That seems to be your big enemy in life, right?
God, yes. I cannot deal with hashtag Jenny Butt.
And she hates us, right?
Yeah, she just despises us, too. So I'm like, hey, guess what? You've picked a fight with the wrong dude, Scope sister.
I used to be friends with her before this whole Scope thing.
I know. I thought a truce was on the horizon, though.
I think
really
you're
did.
the only one who said truce, though.
Oh, was I the one who said it?
Yeah, I was waiting for an apology, and Chris just flats out hates. And we only found out because the person with one L in their name told us how we were being badmouthed over there. Wiley in Arizona.
Up with Scope, down with Dope. Hashtag Scope Bros.
It's good.
G-Man.
It's good for the kids.
G-Man, Charlotte.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Better than Diner Toast. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Oh.
Sweet.
Like that one.
Love
Sweet.
it.
Somebody's going to win the signed Scope Bros show shirt. If you want to check it out, it's over at the iBank today. Limited amount left. First bunch went the first day that it was out there.
Gone.
Yeah.
Gone. No one left.
Within hours.
Yeah, I know. Chris Stanley actually went beyond expectations. Now, as always, our expectations are low with Chris Stanley.
Oh, yeah.
But he has never risen above how bad we think that he is.
Fuck you, expectations. How's my ass taste? Hashtag Scope Bros.
Here's Will. Will.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not giving enough scope at Scope Bros.
Well, thanks. I'm actually looking some of these. I think Carla Finch is kicking some serious ass right now.
Yeah, she's all over it.
Yeah, she's great.
Hashtag Scope Bros sweatier than a whore in church is Carla Finch's latest.
That's actually really strong. Hangover, nicotine, pneumonia, and a big old plate of hashtag Scope Bros. Hashtag Scope Bros, Scope Lives Matter. I gave Piss Stanley a bunch of weed, and all I got was this stupid hashtag Scope Bros t-shirt. The weekend made my brain crash. Hashtag Scope Bros. 6'2", 260 from Astoria, Queens. The drunk wonder of the world. Chris, hashtag Stanley. A giant walking example of how not to live. Hashtag Scope Bros. When rehab isn't an option. Hashtag Scope Bros. He's got a crave case of addiction. Hashtag Scope Bros. Any of these could win. Any of them.
All right, let me see if I can try to win. How about, give me the heart, Scope Bros, and get me out of here.
Give me the hearts. Give them to me, Eli.
Lie. Give me the hearts.
Give me the hearts, Eli. I want the hearts.
Hashtag Scope Bros.
And I want to leave. Go get some milk and steak. Milk and steak is all I crave right now in the crave case. Perkin while working. Hashtag Scope Bros. Secondhand perk sweats. Hashtag Scope Bros. Hashtag Scope Bros would light a one-armed man cig on a windy day. Winning the war on terror. Hashtag Scope Bros. It's not gay if you're hashtag Scope Bros. Pepper's Thanksgiving menu. Hangover, nicotine, pneumonia, and a big old plate of hashtag Scope Bros. These are strong.
These are all good.
Redman, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Ronnie. Roofied and mouth fuck. Hashtag Scope Bro.
That's actually too close to the truth.
School of hard rolls. Hashtag Scope Bros.
It's like we're laughing at him. You know?
Nope.
That's the fun thing.
We're all in this together. Hashtag Scope Bros.
I don't know. Hashtag Scope Bros. Train wreck, not a movie. Hashtag Scope Bros. Regenerating lung tissue live online. Hashtag Scope Bros. I wear my blue blockers at night because I have a crippling Percocet addiction. Hashtag Scope Bros. Hashtag Scope Bros. Now with more turkey juice. Everyone remembers every dumb thing this idiot says. Hashtag Scope Bros. Watching a blackout after a whiteout. Hashtag Scope Bros. Gives the term selling loosies a whole other meaning. Hashtag Scope Bros. Blowing cab drivers when the video ends. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Ooh, this one I like. Exclusive marquee access. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Ooh, sweet.
Love it.
We did have a beautiful marquee night that night, didn't we? 844 Rock God, 844 Rock God to call in, and then it's hashtag Scope Bros, all one word on Twitter, and you can end up winning the signed Chris Stanley Scope Bro t-shirt. Let's go over here to Carlos. Carlos, what's up? Carlos, we got you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Dave from Tennessee. How about Scope Bros before Mint Hose? Hashtag Scope Bros.
Our buddy Chuck in North Carolina. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Ronnie. Who wants that damn T-shirt? It smells like cigarettes and sperm. Hashtag Scope Bros.
That's pretty strong.
Give him the truth.
That's pretty fucking strong.
He tells it like it is.
Joey Jojo, you got one.
More valuable than the Scope Diamond. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Oh, man.
Get some.
Joey might be winning one of these.
There we
so
go.
punny. It's not fair.
If a Scope Bro t-shirt goes to a Scope Joe.
Give me your tired, your weak, and your scoping masses. Hashtag Scope Bros.
These are nice. Not just for your mouth anymore. Hashtag Scope Bros. Can't wait for my new jizz rag. Hashtag Scope Bros. Where are the arms? This is a sling and a lighter. Hashtag Scope Bros. Formaldehyde and Marlboros. Hashtag Scope Bros.
I like this one. Hashtag Scope Bros. These are not the shirts.
These are not the shits. Man, we gotta write another GPS fast.
Real quick.
Real quick, coming fast. Someday Vice will find out what he's saying about them. Hashtag Scope Bros. Eastside who? Hashtag Scope Bros. These are very, very strong, and somebody is going to be winning their own Scope Bro t-shirt. And as I said before, Scope Bros is the biggest thing that ever happened to Chris Stanley. Head on over to the iBang and check it out. You can buy these for Christmas. The first stock went within one day. They re-upped an order. Mitch and Murray gave the green light on it.
Yes.
And you can go over there and buy this for somebody in your life that you care about.
Because Scope Bros don't only wear Scope Bro t-shirts, they give out Scope Bros t-shirts to other Scope Bros.
I mean, this means so much to Chris. You know what I mean?
That's the sad thing.
It means so much to him.
It
Yeah,
means
to
everything
us
to
it's
me.
a stupid joke, but
No.
to him it's everything.
No, it's not. It's everything to me. This is my life now.
Like Brian from Connecticut knows. He says, loose joints and good boy points. Hashtag Scope Bros.
That's really sweet.
It really sums you up, doesn't it?
I want good boy points.
Taking more shots than Scope Solo. Hashtag Scope Bros.
He's
Hashtag
fucking
Team
got
USA.
you, dude. He's got you down. He knows you.
How about this year, stuff the turkey with hearts. Hashtag Scope Bro.
These are not the shits.
These are not the shirts.
And I heard this music, and I'm like, the shits are over in Staten Island. These are not the shits. It's our buddy Cigars and Scotch. What do you say, pal?
Hey, come early, come orphan. Hashtag Scope Bros.
That's so sad because he isn't. He's a big orphan.
All I got my Scope Bros. That's my family now.
That's so sad.
Nope, it's a great thing.
I'm going to read some more of these. Is this blood on my shirt? Hashtag Scope Bros. Watch and feel better about yourself. Hashtag Scope Bros. I'm trying hard to impress an alcoholic. Hashtag Scope Bros. 5 out of 5 doctors agree Chris Stanley's an asshole. Hashtag Scope Bros.
I'll take it.
Sipping on shed juice. Hashtag Scope Bros. I'm not sure how to get to the bridge. These are just little lines from this fucking Drunks Late Night Scope. Hashtag Scope Bros. It's worth the cancer. Hashtag Scope Bros. What the fuck did I just watch? Hashtag Scope Bros. Sending via Twitter because Chris doesn't answer emails. Hashtag Scope Bros. I ate a bad sandwich or some shit. Hashtag Scope Bros. 844 Rock God if you don't have Twitter. 844 Rock God if you don't have Twitter. If you do have Twitter, it's hashtag Scope Bros, all one word. You can see how it's spelled over on the Bennington Twitter or on the iBang Twitter, and take a good long look at these beautiful shirts. They are up. Chris Stanley, what is it that...
Guess what? Hashtag Scope Bros is trending nationwide.
I love it.
Hashtag Scope Bros. Chris Stanley's one fucking invention in 8 years. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, it's trending, baby. Fucking United States of America. What's up, hashtag Scope Bros?
You did it, Craig.
Yeah.
You did it and did it pretty fucking fast, dude. You did it and did it very fucking fast. Chris Stanley, for the first time in his life, has come up with a fucking saying people care about.
The nation hit that share broadcast button. Hashtag Scope Bros.
That's so fucking sweet. But,
straight to my heart.
by the way, I still can't get over. I'm not sure how to get to the bridge. It's the fucking 59th Street Bridge. You drive to 59th Street and hang a right.
He's like, what is this, the upper level? All right, dog.
Both times. Going into the city, coming back. These assholes can't find the bridge. I'm like, take the upper level, better views. And they're like, no, we got to take the lower level. They lied to me, these cab drivers. Good God, man.
Oh, God, that's fucking funny shit. That is so funny. This pile of shit has 1,000 eyes. Hashtag Scope Bros. And it's trending. Oh, good. Pepper's as high as a giraffe pussy again. Hashtag Scope Bros.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I like that fucking bit. Watch cunts smoking blunts. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Burn it.
Don't call me slingy. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Percocet is for closers. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Oversmoked and straight out broke. Hashtag Scope Bros. Down Periscope. Hashtag Scope Bros. Don't leave them alone with your kids. Hashtag Scope Bros.
I'm lost again, Ronnie. Hashtag Scope Bros. It's one of your many catchphrases.
Yeah, that one never worked out for you.
I got one.
Yeah.
Filming more taxi drivers than Martin Scorsese. Hashtag Scope Bros.
This is the only day this fucking kid comes out to be an asset
This
to
is
us.
real strength here.
I know.
Look, I got a
That's fucking
Scope Bros
funny
song. I'm trending on Scope Bros. I mean, this fucking thing is nonstop.
Well, I am happy for you because I know that you always wanted to trend and you never got the ability, and then it happened for you today.
The
God,
thing
I feel
is,
good.
hashtag Scope Bros. Started at the bottom, now they're here. Started at the bottom, now the whole team's here.
Hashtag Scope Bros. And it is really true. You did start at the bottom, now you're here. Pretty soon you'll be back at the bottom again. Hashtag Scope Bros.
I tasted it, though.
I wish somebody would cut Stanley's hair with a shotgun. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Bring it. I'd like to see you try.
Below average hygiene for a fish fan. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Even for a fish fan.
Scope Bros know. Crush it up and snort it. It works faster. Hashtag Scope Bros. I love the smell of in the morning of Apocalypse Now. What? Hashtag Scope Bros. Like a lightly toasted piece of white bread, all buttered up and ready to go. Hashtag Scope Bros. Scope Bros. Groping and scoping. Our Father out in the heaven is a hashtag Scope Bros.
Out in the heaven.
Hashtag Scope Bros. Not of all of us touch kids, just our leader.
No, that's inaccurate.
When Isaac Asimov envisioned the future, he didn't account for hashtag Scope Bros. Encouraging an early death, one heart at a time. Hashtag Scope Bros.
I give my heart to you, the Scope Bros, today. You've given me so many hearts.
I am excited that this is trending now.
Hell yeah.
This really makes him legitimate. You know what I mean?
That's the scariest thing I've ever heard, Gail.
It's real. The Scope Bro movement is real.
This one's kind of all tied together. Last Christmas. No, really. It's his last Christmas. Hashtag Scope Bros. We won the monkey trial. Hashtag Scope Bros. Here's David. David, go ahead.
Sal Pepper couldn't afford to fix his window. Hashtag Scope Bros.
That's pretty exciting.
I'm going to buy a bunch of bricks and just brick it up like I always wanted.
That's what you always wanted?
Something.
What if you...
Everybody has dreams.
This one's kind of all tied together. Last Christmas.
That's crazy. Cody. Cody, go ahead.
Hey, Ronnie. I don't put out my cigarette when I eat a case of cheeseburgers. Hashtag Scope Bros.
He kept eating and smoking.
Multitasking, bro.
Ray, what's up?
These are not the Scope Bros you're looking for. Hashtag Scope Bro.
Trucker Bob, what do you got?
I'm already addicted to the Bennington show. Thanks for the new addiction, Chris. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Kevin, what do you got?
Get your fix.
This free T-shirt smells like a homeless person. Hashtag Scope Bro.
Oh, okay.
Scott.
Free T-shirt with every shark mouth purchase. Hashtag Scope Bros.
I've got a store full of Scope Bros. Ring. Shark mouths. Yes, we do have shark mouths. Lots of them. No dolphin mouth. Just shark mouth. The Ugly Mumford. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Come on.
Hashtag Scope Bros when the man on the street is literally just a man on the street. Broken bones and a runny nose. Hashtag Scope Bros. Thank God this drunk doesn't have a driver's license. Hashtag Scope Bros. Shout out to Scope Francis in Rome. Hashtag Scope Bros. Hosted by a fatter Mike Reno. Hashtag Scope.
Thank you.
Scope Bros. Scope Bros. It doesn't come in a jar.
Scope Bros.
Go check it out on the iBang if you want to see what the shirts look like. It's now trending on Twitter. I guess we never got the updated trending thing, right? Just got the old one?
I have a new one.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we are trending, so this should have played very, very exciting.
Bennington is now trending nationwide.
Very, very exciting.
This is huge. This is big.
This is big for Stans.
I'm happy for him. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm happy for me right now. And I'm happy for the Scope Bros, more importantly, because they're my people. They're my family.
Trump put Chris Stanley on the ticket. Hashtag Scope Bros.
I like that.
Bring me in. Bring me in, T-Rump.
Showing only the gentrified parts of Park Scope, Brooklyn. Hashtag Scope Bros.
He's good. He is good.
This guy's good.
I like him. He's good. You see Trump's thing where he said that he saw people in Jersey City fucking cheering. And I remember when people used to call our radio show after 9/11 and said that they saw people in Jersey City. I don't know if anyone ever saw it, but I remember the word going out like literally that day.
It's just one of those things that people, somebody said it. Just like that same thing where somebody told a lie and said, oh, my cab driver said, oh, you don't want to go down there.
Right.
Let me take you somewhere else.
That actually happened to Stanley.
Yeah.
All right, let me read this one. Thanksgiving for one. Hashtag Scope Bros. The show that gave Charlie Sheen HIV. Hashtag Scope Bros. I sleep in my dead mom's bed. Hashtag Scope Bros. That's really mean.
I don't like that one.
I don't like that one either.
No.
It's way too true.
Not going to win. That T-shirt.
Piss Stankley for president in 2016.
That I like better.
Hashtag Scope Bros. A front-facing camera can substitute for dead parents. Hashtag Scope Bros. Charlie Sheen's worst nightmare. Hashtag Scope Bros. If this was an email, it would never be read. Hashtag Scope Bros. Party at the Scope Tower. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Mouthful of marbles, ass full of fingers. Hashtag Scope Bros. Is that true, Chris?
No. It's a bad scope rumor. Hashtag Scope Bros.
You can say whatever you want about him. That son of a bitch is trending on Twitter.
That's right. You like that? You love it? I love it.
It is the Bennington show. Later on this week, we're playing our Thanksgiving show. I believe it's not only the greatest Thanksgiving show we've ever done, it's the greatest Thanksgiving show known to man. When you hear Comedy 101 and the great comics that come in there to mentor young, inexperienced comics, it's by far the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life.
I'm so excited to hear Comedy 101 again. Because I was laughing so hard. I just kept thinking, I hope that I remember everything that these guys were saying.
I don't even know if you remember it, but at one point you grabbed my arm real hard and you sunk your nails into it just from fucking laughter.
That's how I express myself.
Yeah. And you screamed at me, "What is happening?"
What is this?
Where everybody has a dirty dick. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Oh, you can all relate to each other.
Shout out from the Centaur Brothers. Hashtag Scope Bros. More fun than throwing rotten fruit at the village idiot. Hashtag Scope Bros.
What?
Fuck a Scope Bros t-shirts. I'm ordering a Scope Bros tombstone. Leader of the hashtag Scope Bros. The dope near Greenwich Village. Wait, he doesn't even understand. It's the dope of Greenwich Village.
Yeah.
I'll be using this as a pillow on a park bench tonight. Hashtag Scope Bros.
If you win.
Here's what I know you'll like, Gail. A day, man. Fighter of the Scope Man. You just yelled Fighter of the Nut Man.
Oh, no. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Dude, you said twin costs. Hashtag Scope Bros. This shirt only comes in a wife beater. Hashtag Scope Bros. Rat holing things just for fun. Hashtag Scope Bros. My mom wrote a centaur and all I got was this free t-shirt. Hashtag Scope Bros.
The only good time to find a horse head in your bed. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Fantastic. That's fucking giant.
It's huge.
Yeah, because he's the only centaur with a horse's head and a fucking human body.
I didn't realize that's what it was.
Mind fuck, bros.
Totally a 3-star on Uber. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Oh, come on.
And that's not even wordplay. That's just a straight out fucking Jones right there.
There we go.
There you go. You got it.
Bullshit.
Dan, I want to hear another one of yours. I feel like Joey Jojo has finally lifted himself comedically above you.
And he's so punny. It just works for him.
This plays to Joey Jojo and not necessarily to Dan. Dan's not a pun boy.
He's not a punsmith.
No.
Rope a dope with a scope. Bro.
See, this
Hashtag
is
Scope
not,
Bros.
This is not
this
his
is
forte.
not his thing.
Not
this
my forte.
is Joe's
Not my
place in
forte.
life.
This is Joe's wheelhouse.
This is fucking great for Joe.
It's The Gladiator, directed by Ridley Scope. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Oh, holy shit.
my
That's
There we go.
good.
God.
I cried at
That's
that movie.
good.
This is almost just as good for Joe as it is for Chris.
It really is. Scope Joes are really, got in an extra win for themselves today. JT, what's up, buddy?
Hashtag get your fucking baby well. Hashtag Scope Bros.
It's a baby whale, Scope Bros.
Kevin, what's up?
It's time for the percolator. Hashtag Scope Bros.
That's good. Garrison, what do you got?
Tight spliffs and loose joints. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Oh, these are fucking strong, my friend. These are strongs. Guys, is that a fucking UFO? Hashtag Scope Bros.
Guys.
20 years from now, he'll be throwing his cat off Niagara Falls. Hashtag Scope Bros. Shit in my shoes and piss in my face. Hashtag Scope Bros. Scoping and smoking now in the shower. Hashtag Scope Bros.
You need a shower scope.
It's the dumpster fire that never goes out. Hashtag Scope Bros.
The Eternal.
Is that guy okay? Hashtag Scope Bros. We're going to need a bigger scope. Hashtag Scope Bros. Racking up the Marlboro miles. Hashtag Scope Bros. Mostly meat and cheese. Hashtag Scope Bros. You know, the Marlboro Ranch is Chris Stanley's dream.
That's your dream, like, vacation.
That's the place I want to. I've always heard about people getting apparently Marlboro will just select random Marlboro smokers and send them like tickets. You're going to Marlboro Ranch for a week. I've always wanted to hit it. One day.
Maybe with the help of these Scope Bros, it could happen for you.
It could happen.
Scope Bros.
I mean, they're getting your name out there, the Scope Bros.
Imagine if I fucking was scoping from the Marlboro Ranch.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You're on your way, Chris Stanley.
Oh,
you are on your fucking way.
Fuck yeah!
Hey, look who's coughing again. Hashtag Scope Bros. He doesn't need your hearts. He needs your liver. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Hit that liver button, everyone.
Hit that share liver button.
Please. I don't know how much longer I have.
I implore you.
The show has trended nationally, and that's very, very exciting. No one expected this out of Scope Bro. It's just fantastic for you, Chris.
Bennington is now trending nationwide.
I never thought this would happen for Chris Stanley. Mason, what's up?
God.
What's happening?
Yeah.
It's, holy shit, bad man. It's Scope Bros. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Wow, it was awful. Brad, what do you got, buddy?
Who do you want?
Pat, what do you got, pal?
Go, Scope Brothers.
Go, Scope Bros.
It's a great line.
There's something strange in the neighborhood. Who are you going to call? Hashtag Scope Bros. Does my snot smell like Coke? Hashtag Scope Bros. More like meth. Scope the planet with Chris Stanley. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Hold me closer, tiny Scope Bros.
Count the headlights on the highway. Oh, they love you, Chris.
I love them. That's the thing. I love my Scope Bros. And one of them's going to get a goddamn Scope Bros t-shirt signed.
Hey, coming in just a little bit, it's Mike Racine. He's got a new album out called Union Delegate. It's available on iTunes and Google Play. We think he's the kid on the march. You know what I mean? Mike Racine, this shit's hilarious. Check out the article on him over on the iBang. Also take a gander at those Scope Bro shirts. They're going fast. I'm getting everyone in my family a Scope Bro shirt.
Great. I'm happy for that.
Yeah. Everybody's going to be excited about it.
I bought my Super Scope Bro shirt. Instead of giving him a tip this year, I'm going to give him a Scope Bro t-shirt.
That's a smart idea. Here's a beautiful Scope Bro shirt.
I feel like every one of your cabbies should get a Scope Bro shirt because you love your cab drivers, Chris.
Love them. I want them to give me stars. I give them stars. Come on. I'll give you a t-shirt on top of that.
I used to know a guy who paid his fucking lawn guy in Ron and Ron shirts and free CDs. Hey, enjoy this. It's fucking actually more than what I would have paid you.
This is a little tip for you.
So you're fucking getting over right now.
This is barter, bro.
Haters gonna hate. Hashtag Scope Bros. There is no Wi-Fi at the Marlboro Ranch. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Oh no, how will you scope?
His feet or his tongue? What will he trip on first? Hashtag Scope Bros. Making bookies happier than a pig in shit. Hashtag Scope Bros. The t-shirt is so long it covers your extra legs. Hashtag Scope Bros. Guys, does my heartbeat sound really loud to you? Hashtag Scope Bros. Come watch the slowest suicide ever. Hashtag Scope Bros.
It's never going to end.
Hashtag Scope Bros. When you have to distract yourself from dope sickness. Joey Jojo invented hashtag Scope Bros.
No.
Oh, okay.
Hashtag Scope Joes are the new hashtag Scope Bros.
Hashtag Scope Joe, folks.
Hashtag Scope Bros. Pepper drive the scope, chief.
Pepper drives a scope.
So good at scoping, you can call him a scopedic surgeon.
Oh, boy.
Hashtag Scope Bros.
You tripped over that one.
Delivered that, that'd have been another fucking great one.
His face.
Fucked up, bro.
You got the fucking finesse of the Vikings.
I suck.
I fell for you.
Oh, man.
And at the start of that game, I thought you had it.
I know.
Right up until the fucking missed extra point, I go,
yep.
That's like a fucking foreshadow. Remember what I said to you, Stanley? No way Aaron Rodgers is going to lose 4 games in a row.
Yep.
I fucking implored you not to fucking go down that path.
I fucking went down it. I went down it heavy, and I'm paying for it today.
Did you see what that new Viking Stadium is going to look like?
It looks crazy.
Like,
huge.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like it's not going to get built. Like, I feel like it looks too crazy.
I just saw it being built. They showed it last night.
It's literally almost
done. That's how come I know about it. I was watching last night. They go up in the hard hats, and they're walking around.
I feel like it's going to collapse. Like, it's just too big.
Oh, the last one collapsed.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one.
That was great, though.
Yeah, that was awesome. Cool video.
I like the Vikings playing outside, though. I like the idea of that.
Me too.
Just so cold that no one can stand their life.
It's their natural habitat.
Bots are picking up hashtag Scope Bros now.
Thank you, bots.
Thank you, bots.
Those bots are Scope Bros. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Listen to the bots. Hashtag Scope Bros.
Looks like I'm going to give this T-shirt to one of the bots.
It's a Scope bot.
Scope Bro fucking trended today, and I want to thank all the listeners. You made this a magical Thanksgiving for Chris Stanley.
God, Scope Bros, thank you so much. I'm filled with the happiness of Thanksgiving, Christmas, everything. Thanks to
It's
Scope
a good
Bros.
Thanksgiving for all of us. I think we're all feeling it this year.
Oh, God, yes.
We're feeling thankful.
We are feeling thankful and grateful and just happy to be where we are in life right now.
I'm just filled up with thankfulness. Every hole is just filled.
Okay. You gotta make it
Doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You don't have to get specific where you're feeling your
Sorry.
thanks.
Thanks. Yeah.
Hashtag Scope Bros.
So Google ripped off Tom Sharpling.
Google did rip off Tom Sharpling. So Tom Sharpling has this song that he created, and he sings it on his show. And so some of his fans brought it up to him. Some of the friends of Tom noticed that there was this new Google ad for the Chromebook, and it sounds exactly, or at least very similar to a song that old Tom Sharpling wrote. A little ditty that he came up with.
Do you think this was like a Google fan or somebody like a Madison Avenue fan who thought it would be a fun thing to do?
It's possible that somebody felt like, this is the way I see it, that it could have been somebody thought that they were like giving a little homage to him, but realizing if you're not paying that person or giving them credit in any way.
Yeah, or calling up to say, hey, would this be fun to you? Or maybe I want to put you and your crew in this commercial.
Yeah, like a little...
Even if it was for a second or two.
A little heads up.
Yeah.
But it was lifted, and Tom Sharpling is speaking out against it. He's taken to social media.
Well, I told you earlier today, I think he's going to win this. Mm-hmm. I think within 2 years, if you want to get information, you're going to go like this. I'm going to Sharpling it and find out where it is right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on Google's side.
I looked at the Sharpling map, said I know exactly where your house is, so I'll be there tonight.
Sharpling's nuts if he thinks that Google ripped him off. I'm buying a Chromecast just because Sharpling thinks that they're ripping him off.
You know what, Chris? He loves you.
He loves you so much.
I don't feel the love from Sharpling.
Can you feel the love tonight?
I want everyone to go buy a Chromecast just on the strength of their original commercial.
Chris, I've always thought that you saw Tom Sharpling as a mentor because I know that you've taken a lot from him.
I don't take anything
from him.
No, what have I ever stolen from Tom Sharpling?
Scope Bros.
Bullshit. I invented Scope Bros.
I don't know. I mean, he did give an official statement to the terrorbank.com. He doesn't mind though. I think he sees you as, somebody he would take under his wing.
Right.
No, I am not under that man's wing. He's under mine, if anything.
Sharpling said to me today, as long as Chris is alive, I'll never be dead. And I thought that was beautiful.
That's kind of sweet when you think of it.
No, that was a shot at me. He's fucking with me, and he likes to criticize me for no reason.
Why aren't you happy? You just fucking trended Scope Bros today.
I know.
I felt great, but now Sharpie's coming out here saying he invented Scope Bros.
In 2011.
Yeah, back in the day. I mean, he's...
2011?
Yeah.
No! 2015. Circa Chris Stanley.
When I was in high school biology, I came up with Microscope Bros.
What?
Yeah, because anybody that was sharing a microscope, we didn't have enough to go around.
See?
And I'm like, we're Microscope Bros. Or as I would say, Scope Bros for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, if everyone's inspired by each other in that way. So I wouldn't think that you would be upset. I think you would be on the side of Sharpling. I mean, you guys are essentially one and the same.
No, I'm on Google's side forever. I'll never be on Tom Sharpling's side. I want everyone to go out buying Chromecast notebooks.
See, I don't even use Google. I'm still on Ask Jeeves, and it's giving me everything I need. I just ask Jeeves. You know, it's a great logo of a little English butler coming to help me. I remember when they used to have a giant fucking Ask Jeeves in Times Square. Just this enormous Ask Jeeves. And no one did. Even at the time, the people were like, I'm fucking playing this stupid game.
Is he real? She's real. Yeah, I don't know what Sharpling's problem is. I don't know why he's got to come at me all the time. Look, I trended Scope Bros today.
I'll tell you once again, we just did another order, and the double XLs are going so fucking fast.
That's really the signature size of the Scope Bros.
It really is.
The Scope Bros like to have a nice roomy shirt.
That's true.
You know? Feels good.
Who wants a tight tee?
Nobody. Look, I'm wearing these crazy giant shirts. It feels good.
I mean, if you want to look like Chris, then yeah, I guess you're going to go baggy style. He keeps it baggy.
Well, now he has to. You know what I mean?
Sure. Oh, I remember back in the day, he was wearing those little crop tops.
They were sweet.
Showing off the tummy.
They were fucking sweet.
Gotta show it off.
You're a good looking dude. You fucking play it down, but you're an amazing looking dude.
Well, thank you, Ron. I appreciate that. See, that's something I never expect to get from Sharpling.
All right, enough of that. He's bigger fish to fry right now.
Yeah, I mean, we
got to get him back on the show soon, too.
I feel like you need to say to him, like, you need to be Scope Bros in arms with him. You know what I mean?
He needs to apologize.
Hold on, look who just called in. This is always amazing. The man who's going fucking toe to toe with Google, legendary broadcaster, Tom Sharpling. Tom.
What up, Scope Bros?
What's up, Tom Sharpling?
We heard about this attack, basically a terrorist attack on you.
Yeah. Which one, from Chris Stanley or Google?
Oh, we don't even listen to Chris Stanley.
No!
It's Google that interests us.
Okay, because after I finish with Google, then I'm going to take care of Chris.
Well, that'll take you 5 minutes.
Good luck, Sharpling.
I just wish you two would get along.
Me too.
Look, I love him. I bought a shirt last night. I bought one of those.
Oh, he's a Scope Bro.
He's a Scope Bro. Chris.
Why is he taking shots at the old Scope Bro #1, Chris Stanley, huh?
It's a way to promote you dope.
You are a dope. Why wouldn't you just sit and say thank you for joining in on the Scope Bro madness?
I will never thank Sharpling. I hope Google destroys.
Chris, you're acting like a dope
You're
bro.
missing the way your character should be working, Chris. What are you wiping over there?
I spilled some wet water.
On the fucking board.
No.
Near the board.
Near the board. Well, we'll be off the air soon. So what exactly happened with Google, Tom?
Well, basically, I did this. I've had this song on the show for years, and it was called. We came up with this thing. I came up with it called "Come On, Y'all, It's Time to Have Fun," where it would be kind of an all-purpose song that I could sell to any company for anything, because it would be like the world's worst. It would be like the worst Black Eyed Peas song ever,
right?
And it could be licensed for anything. And yeah, I've talked about it for years. And then there's an ad now, this Google Chrome ad that has a song called "Come On Now, Let's Have Big Fun," which
sounds pretty similar.
Sounds pretty similar, and it's kind of interesting in the way that it's actually the idea of coming up with the world's worst song for advertising has now actually become the world's worst song in an ad.
Right.
And yet, advertising being advertising, they actually also then stole it just to make sure that
they define that we are the worst people in the world.
Now, have they reached out to you since you started tweeting and getting the word out?
No, nothing's happened. They're gonna hope I just scream myself out and go away. I mean, there's got to be 1,000 people mad at Google at any given time, but I also have nothing going on. I see. This is where I'm not unlike. This is why I think I get along with the whole Chris Stanley Scope Bro ethos. Is that just like I don't have anything, and like the way he clings. He said, "This is my life now." Earlier about this Scope Bro thing, which is maybe the saddest and most heartening thing I've ever heard at the same time.
Trending.
That he believes in this thing that kind of is like that movie Windy City Heat, but where everybody's pranking one person.
Right.
I mean, that's like, and then, but Chris, just go along with it. It's going to keep going great.
Right.
And the T-shirts are going to turn into blue blockers. You'll have your name on blue blockers.
Now, branding, it's so important in this time.
See, now I like what Tom's saying here. I like the direction he's going in.
The cologne that smells like fucking piss and flop sweat.
Yeah. And then one day it'll be like, Chris, you'll walk into the room, and then it'll just be, you'll think you're going to be a made man, and then it's just plastic sheets on the floor.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Now, here's the thing about, a lot of guys say, they burn the bridges behind them. But in Chris's case, the bridge burned itself. And he can't go back. This has to work for him.
Yup, there are no bridges. There's no retreat. There's no surrender. There's nothing. This is it. We're going forward.
Now, Tom, you taking on Google, they'll fight you forever. At best, you'll be in front of the Supreme Court.
At best, yes. That's where it ends up. And maybe I'll do that thing where I represent myself and then run back and forth from the box to the floor over and over.
Right. Your friends have long abandoned you because they think that you're obsessed with this.
Yeah, it'll be my Lenny Bruce moment.
Yeah.
But it'll be I'll be just on stage somewhere at the Village Underground or whatever, reading transcripts from that Google said about me.
As people are walking out, one after another. He used to be so funny.
And then
what happened?
I'll be meeting up with Chris after the show to just get my go-go pills and my fun juice.
Yeah.
See, you guys are one and the same.
Hopefully you both end up naked, dead in the bathroom together as the camera's panning back. But for some reason, we can't see your penis. That always bugged me about that shot. How do you hide a penis?
That movie, Bob Fosse said he did that movie so that he could do that three-way scene, was pretty much why he wanted to do the Lenny Bruce story. And that didn't happen either. He added that.
He just put it in for himself?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I know one thing. When I was a kid, that scene worked for me. Everything about it worked for me.
Yeah,
I was like, give me that fucking life now. Get in the bathroom floor at what, 33? Perfect. I'll do it.
Good run.
Well, it's Sharpling v. Google. This is something that'll be taught. There's Tom Jones just walking by. This is something that'll be taught in law schools years from now.
Yeah, or it'll just be taught in law schools as some sort, or in schools as some sort of how not to live your life doing free radio for pretty much the entirety of your adult life, and then just serving stuff up for people to just take when they want.
Either that or they settle. There's always a chance that someone's like, why deal with it? We're worth $100 billion. Let's just give them a few mil. Boom.
And then you got them Google bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I make the full push. A Scope Bros movie is my goal.
Oh,
dude,
my God. Would you have Tom
it.
Sharpling direct your Scope Bros movie? Put everything behind you guys.
Yeah.
And work together, Chris. Could you do it?
Maybe Amy doing some kind of great song at the beginning. Scope Bros.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Make that happen?
I'd like to just see Tom direct a Periscope for Chris.
Oh, my God.
I would do that in a second.
I've never had a guest director.
Well,
celebrity cameos. Who knows?
You say the word. Chris.
That's a really funny idea. Is every time we have a director in here, we go, could you hold Chris's phone? Directed by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scope hard is what we would call it.
I talked to this guy one time, and he says he's walking down the street with his wife, and he sees Anna Leibovitz, right? The photographer. And he says, can I get a picture? And she says, yeah. And he goes, no, I want you to take it of me and my wife. And then he had that picture blown up and it's sitting in his house.
Oh, that's so cool.
And he has an Anna Leibovitz original in his mind. It's the fucking funniest story ever.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And now we find ourselves in the back of cabs.
Right.
Going over bridges. Asking the cabbie 8 times whether he's going to take the upper or lower.
It was a detour, Queens.
Dude, the fucking... I would have actually ended this on a freeze frame when you look into the cab and you're all fucked up and feeling bad and you go, guys, I don't know, I might be just chasing the wrong things.
Yeah.
That was so fucking funny to me.
So funny and so sad.
Oh, yeah, same thing as funny, though.
The last episode of one of the Chris's things should just be the cabbie taking him to rehab. And he's like, wait, that's not the bridge. Sniff, sniff.
First of all, if you blow your money on rehab, because it ain't going to fucking stick with you, there's not a fucking shrink in the world that could crack you.
Court ordered, maybe. That's the only reason, the only way I'm getting in
right.
there. Let's be like, where are my 5 stars at, dude?
All right, we got to take a break here. Tom Sharpling, you're the best, buddy. Best of luck.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, let's come on in and see us. If you can't in December, let's do it in the new year. Have a great Thanksgiving, my friend.
Peace, Tom.
Thanks,
Peace.
Cal. Bye, Chris. I love you.
Bye, Scope Bro.
He bought a Scope Bro t-shirt.
Can you believe it?
That's one of the great broadcasters who, as he said, he's done this on NPR, and now that he's out doing it in this new world that we all live in, the podcast world. But people find him and always have found him. And Gail, tell people how to.
You can find Tom on The Best Show every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. East at thebestshow.net.
Yeah. And your man was a long-term Sharpling fan.
Yeah,
forever.
he's been a fan of The Best Show for like a decade now.
And when Tom followed you on Twitter or whatever, his head almost exploded.
Yeah.
As if the day that he'll be so happy when Chip Kelly is dragged into the streets of Philadelphia and fucking tied with his hands behind his head and then shot in the back of the head in front of fucking Pat's cheesesteaks. You know, I can barely look at football now. This man has fucking brought so much distaste to my life.
Oh God, he's hurt an entire city. The way they're grieving.
Yeah,
he never knew what he was doing in the first place, right? I mean, this is just crazy.
The Emperor had no clothes.
Yeah, I like to say Eagle Nation, which goes all the way from probably Easton down to Wildwood. You know, that's the nation there. No one has ever jumped on the bandwagon around the country like with Cowboys fans and Steelers fans.
Yeah.
It's literally, if you could get them on your local TV, you watched them. 50 fucking Super Bowls, and they haven't won one. Tampa has won more Super Bowls than them.
It's awful.
Ravens have won with 2 different teams.
It's insane.
And what are you going to do? I mean, that's your fucking life. That's what you get. You know what we do get? Creed, coming out tomorrow. Rocky, one more time. I actually read this in Variety. I'm not making this up. Variety says Rocky could win a Best Supporting Actor on his 7th time out. They say he's amazing in this. So I had no way I was going to see Creed. I read this and I go, I knew it. It's going to be great. It's that fucking fast that I'm fucking trying to kick the football again.
I was reading an article where they went through, not only rated Creed, but went through and rated all the Rocky movies, and they gave Creed 4 stars, and they gave the original Rocky 3.5. So they're, by this person's logic, they're saying Creed is better than Rocky.
By a half star.
By a half star. I don't know what that half star was.
I think it opens tomorrow. You're going to see it Friday?
I'm going to see it over the weekend, probably Friday, yeah.
I'm going to probably not come to work tomorrow and watch it.
Okay. I am going to be seeing it, in the fatherland, so that's pretty exciting.
Now, this is also exciting. Scope Bros is still trending, and even as we stop and we're talking. Feel free to keep adding to the Scope Bros. Chris Stanley will be picking one. You can go over and look at it on the iBang. I'm being told right now, and this is unfortunate and probably bad purchasing, but only one double XL left in the second bunch.
If you are a double XL, you need to hurry.
Yeah.
Hurry right now.
Get some.
Or lose weight and get yourself into an XL.
You think you could do that by Christmas?
Go for that double XL. Go for the last one.
When extra large isn't big enough, hashtag Scope Bros.
They're my people.
Now, you have a Scope Bros shirt I gave you today, and you can't put it on because you can't put a non-button shirt on.
I've had to wear, button shirts for the last month. I can't wear a t-shirt. It's impossible.
So you can't wear your Scope Bros shirt until you get your wing all fixed up?
Until the sling comes off, it's buttoned up shirts for old Stan Man.
By the way, there's still some triple XLs left. And if you're big enough for a double XL, why not put on a triple XL and relax a little bit?
Yeah. That's what I always say.
Yeah.
Air it out, Air it out and get some triple X love.
I don't know if air it out fits into this in any way at all.
Like, looser, so more air in between you and the shirt. Air it out.
Normally, if someone says air it out, they mean put it in the air. Not by a larger size.
I'm going to get that started.
Mike Racine's coming in a few moments. His new album, Union Delegate, is available on iTunes and Google Play. And let's just say this, Chris, you acted pissy here, but with an iconic broadcaster that the New York Times loves, like Tom Sharpling, a man who was an executive producer on an iconic TV show, has done videos that are fantastic, music videos that are fantastic, hosted a beloved radio show. He buys one of your stupid Scope Bro t-shirts.
They're great.
And you're not moved by that? That's crazy to me.
You must be moved.
I've been putting up a hard exterior shell against this Sharpling thing. Because, I
hate to interrupt you, but all the double XLs are gone.
Oh, no!
Oh, my God, someone jumped on that shit?
Yeah. I say, if you're going to enjoy a double XL, a triple XL is your way to go.
It's even better, to be honest. You get more material.
And get an XL for your wife, so that way you're each wearing, nice matching shirts.
And you guys are going to look great together, matching Scope Bro t-shirts. It's part of being the Scope Bro.
The nice thing about the triple XL, you just swaddle yourself like a little baby Jesus.
Was he in a Scope Bros t-shirt? I never...
As far as I can tell, yes.
Yeah. I think they said they wrapped him in swaddling Scope Bros shirts. That's what they said.
Underneath it, he was at least topless. I never saw him like in a baby tee, And swaddling is just a blanket wrapped around you very tight.
Yes.
They say a baby likes to be in a tight blanket because it reminds them of being back in their favorite womb.
Yeah. It's very womby when you're...
I don't think I would ever like it.
Oh, I like it. I like to feel womby. I like to be warm.
Yeah.
Swaddled up.
You know why? Because you're kind of autistic like that. What's your name?
Yeah. Temple.
Temple Grandin.
I'm very Temple.
Yeah.
I feel like I could get in one of those little cow hugger machines. And then after that, I could be slaughtered and be fine with it, I think that's how it works. But when I first heard how, I don't know if you would say symptoms or characteristics of autism.
Right.
Really freaked me out. There was a lot of similarities.
You talk too much to be autistic.
I think they're chatty, aren't they? They're quiet?
No, they're not. They don't like to talk.
The only thing is you only care about yourself, and that's autistic.
Yes.
You get obsessed with certain bands or movies.
Yes.
And repeat them.
Yeah, parroting sounds.
Right. You also, this is a weird thing, and Gail did this ever since she was a baby, really. If she sat next to you on the couch or something, she would always try to put her feet under you.
Yeah.
She would dig, or if you were laying next to her, she would dig her feet under you.
I like the pressure and the warmth. It's very comforting to me.
Weird.
Temple Grandin time. Maybe we can get some Temple Grandin shirts with your head superimposed.
That would be great.
We'll dress you up in that cowboy suit.
Well, she's very stylish, so I would love that.
Grandin Bros.
She came in one day, and she's all dressed like a cowgirl and all, and she was, by the way, fantastic. She had basically written a book that was kind of like, if your kid's autistic, great. There's a lot of fantastic jobs. So she came in, and she was like amazing. And I heard from so many people that had autistic kids that were really moved by hearing her and her successes. I mean,
she's
not only
incredible.
is she more successful than any of us, than anybody that we've ever met. And afterwards, she's like, so how's things around here? And I'm like, oh, it's going, because she was very interested in the equipment, stuff like that, and the satellite setup. And I'm like, great. And she was like, what's up with the suits, though? Are they trying to stop everything? And I'm like, as a matter of fact, yeah. They're constant. And she goes, it's like that everywhere. It's always the creative people versus the suits. Stay away from the suits.
Yes,
and I was like, it was so great. And I'm like, when I was a little kid, I would always dress up like a flashy cowboy. You know what I mean? More like a Wild West show cowboy than a working cowboy. That did not interest me.
Oh, it's a good look.
But I went for a real Tom Mix look as a baby.
Real shiny spurs, like jingly silver.
Yeah. Somewhat gay cowboy shirt I would have on. I tried to look like Sally Starr back in Philly, if I'm going to be totally honest. All right, we got to break here. Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you.
Not you. I'm saying it was congratulations to the listeners that I was pausing.
Thank you so
Chris,
much.
Are you going to be able to choose by the end of the show or, within the next hour? Are you chewing tobacco? Because I see it spitting into a cup constantly.
That's phlegm. That's...
Oh, God.
I got to get it out.
Gail was right. You should have stayed in this weekend. It wasn't a time for drinking and drugging.
You needed to care for yourself.
Mike Racine is coming in next. He's got a hilarious new album called Union Delegate. It's available on iTunes and Google Play. Chris, could you do me a favor and call the stand and see if they're doing their roast battle tomorrow night?
Will do. I'll make the call.
I now consider roast battle our competition, and I want to go check them out. Because Comedy 101 could be the rising thing.
Yeah. The next roast.
By the way, could you imagine? It's like Roast Masters or something like that.
Yeah.
See if they're doing it the stand.
Finding out.
By the way, could you imagine Tom Sharpling as one of the judges?
Oh, my God.
Bigger than life.
Perfect.
Did you ever find out, too, about that movie show I'm supposed to go on? Or the documentary that asked for me? Do you know any details of anything in my life? You're supposed to be my guy.
Yes.
And I'm fucking blind this week.
You're the guy behind the guy.
I'll be opening your eyes later today.
Weird way to say it.
Yeah, you know the thing. Blind people do not have fucking closed eyes.
Oh. I found out from the stand? Not happening tomorrow night.
How come?
There's just regular shows happening tomorrow night, and that's not happening.
They do it every Tuesday. Do you find out from the stand, or did Dan just tell you?
Dan just told me. I'll make a call.
He said the stand, not the Dan.
Thank you.
You must have been confused.
You're right, Gail. He's an idiot. I'm taking his shirt back.
Oh, come on. I need it.
You can't even wear
Gail,
it, Chris.
what were you saying about Sharpling that you were so moved, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, because, I've been putting up a hard exterior because of the initial, he was just, talking shit about the way I shoot my periscopes.
He's a professional.
I get that. And then he offered to actually, be a guest director, something that's never happened on, never happened on Smoking with Chris or Scope Talk Live or 420 Blazing.
Anybody's Scope.
Yeah, really anyone's.
It's just a phone.
Or Cabinet with Chris, the
that
new show.
Amy Mann video that he did may be my favorite video of all time.
It's so good and so funny and really sweet, too.
Yeah.
And Sharpling buying a Scope Rose t-shirt, I consider that an extension of an olive branch.
And you'll never drop this now, right? It's that way? Because that's great. So you can't go back on that. You've got to stay cool now, right?
I will stay, yeah.
Because I know he's burning it on his show. this Sunday night. That's
Really?
the funny joke.
You already said you want to
Can't
go
go
back on it.
No
You got to
backsies.
scope bro of your word.
Fuck.
You said no takesies, backsies.
I like that Chris was trying to think of what is best for the Scope Bros. I was really moved by that. Now that you got these Scope Bros, you got to think of something to do with them.
Cult?
But no, I don't know if it should be a cult.
Nice.
But I do like the idea of bum rushing other people's scopes.
Oh, God, yeah.
So they don't even know why everybody comes running into their room.
It's a Scope Bro invasion.
Really try to scope the planet, like that thing you tried to get to take off that never worked out. Make it happen.
Do a big share every once in a while.
Okay, Scope Bros. Scope Bros Unite.
Yeah.
Check this fucking scope out. Freak this person out. With positivity of Scope Bros.
Yeah, it could work that way. Or shut one down. It's up to you. Make somebody feel bad about themselves. Let's break. I got a man coming in here. Mike Racine is the dude. Union Delegate is his brand new album. iTunes and Google Play. MikeRacine.com for more information. Bennington. Yeah, buddies, it's the Bennington Show. One of our all-time favorites is here, Mike Racine. He has a hilarious new album out. Just came out Friday, right?
Yeah, right.
And Mike's comedy is the best. This is called Union Delegate. It's available on iTunes, Google Play, MikeRacine.com. There's an article on him up on the iBank. It's basically a rave about the album because the album is terrific. But not for the faint of heart, Mike. I would honestly say that.
What do you mean?
There's a couple of places there. I'm like, he's a little bit dark. He's a dark gentleman.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I think it's still like redeeming at the end.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's the saddest thing I've heard yet, that you would think that. But exciting for you to have this out now. This piece of your life to put out there has got to feel cool, right?
Yeah, it's good. It feels good.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with it.
I know you got some tour dates coming out, too, for people to see you live.
Yeah, I need the names of the venues, but I got to look them up. But I'll be in Newport, Rhode Island. They're all on my website, MikeRacine.com.
Right.
But I'll be in Newport, Rhode Island on Friday, and then I'll be in Scranton on Saturday, and then I'm going to Maine for a few days, December 2nd to the 5th.
No, you're going to all the beautiful summer places in the winter.
I was just thinking that. It's going to be brutal.
I mean, if this was your June tour, it would be fabulous. But, it gets cold up in Maine this time of year.
That's what I hear. Yeah. I'll be all right.
Yeah. You'll get there by dog sled. You'll be traveling by dog sled. I love that you don't see your humor as being dark.
No, I mean, I guess it is, but, that's just the kind of stuff that I like to talk about. It's funny to me. So.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a certain part of something you said, if anything happened to your parents, what you do with your brother.
That's just like a fun misdirect, though.
It was a very much of a misdirect, but it's something, let's say, normal people wouldn't even joke about.
Yeah, you think?
No, I know so. I know how this society works.
Yeah.
And they don't say things like that. But that's why you're on stage. That's why you're doing this.
Well, my brother was diagnosed with autism when he was 2, so it was always very normal to me,
Now, by the way, we were just talking about autism before you got here because, what's her name again?
Temple Grandin. Grandin?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
She's the one that she's autistic and she had all these, she's a very creative person.
Mm-hmm.
Would your brother have any of those kind of things?
Not really.
Yeah.
I don't think he's high functioning enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's low functioning.
He's probably lower functioning.
So he's one of those kids that's kind of inside his own world.
Yeah, I think so. He can work the Netflix thing by himself.
But see, here's the thing. There might be all kinds of stuff happening, but he's just not sharing them with you.
So maybe what we need to do is take his brain out and see what's in there.
I don't know if we want to do that, but see, that's the kind of stuff, that most people don't say.
Yeah.
By the way, there was a piece, this is up on the iBank today too. Al Roker's cab passed him by, and he says it's racism. No, a cab passed me by the same day. I kind of felt like that was racism too. But I know this. It used to be really tough to get a cab if a black guy was even with me. And I used to have my friend Earl hide. And then when the cab would stop, I'd say, I'd keep the door open and Earl would get in. And this was only like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, the weird thing is, they're not white guys driving these cabs. They're Arabs who didn't want to go uptown.
Right.
You know what I mean? But now that there's more white people gentrifying Harlem, I thought it was less of a problem. Chris, do you think it's still a problem out there that they won't pick up black guys?
Yeah, they still don't want to. They still don't want to go to uptown. These even darker skinned.
But people, when they pick you up, they don't want to go to a store either.
No, they don't like going over the bridge. Then no one can find.
You got to get a green.
What you do is you tell them you're going right near the Midtown Tunnel, and then you go, all right, now go through the Midtown Tunnel.
That's it. Keep going.
They get really upset about that, though.
They lose their shit because they just hate going through the tunnels or the fucking bridges because they just want to fucking hit fares in Manhattan.
I feel like that's a good thing that Uber has probably added. Is they
Uber will take you anywhere. They'll pick up anybody.
And you don't have the judgment of they see you on the street corner and they're going to have a snap judgment about where you're going and how you're going to be.
I had Uber pick up an 8-ball for me and just bring it back to my house.
Wow, that is.
But here's the problem. I think that fucker stepped on it. I think somewhere in between, he fucking put mannitol in there, came back and sold it to me at full price.
I wouldn't give him 5 stars then.
Yeah.
Scumbag.
He had a little fucking ring around his fucking nose. And he tried to tell me he had that before.
No, I've always said this.
Here's what Now, I remember Anthony did this bit. It was Anthony and Patrice O'Neill. And Patrice O'Neill got on one side of the street. Anthony got on the other in like a fucking German helmet, right? And Anthony got picked up before Patrice.
Oh, my God.
And when he was doing the cab, he had the fucking Nazi salute out. And got in. It was really one of the funniest things ever. Although, heartbreaking when you think the truthfulness. Maybe we could have a black guy on one side, ISIS on another side. See who they pick up first.
My guess is ISIS.
You know, a lot of those guys are really connected with it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with ISIS is you don't know who they are because they're everywhere. They're literally,
everywhere.
They've infiltrated the whole country already, and it's just a matter of time. That's why I carry heavy cans of soup in my bag, just in case.
What are you going to do with your sauce?
Maybe. I don't know if I had to.
Now, are you concerned about ISIS at all?
I guess a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Gail? ISIS bother you?
I mean, I guess they get under my skin, sure.
Sure. I'll tell you something right now. They're not nice people. I'm going to put that out there. On the other hand, they do kind of look cool, like they were in a movie or something.
I like the flag. Is that too much to say? Like the flag looks pretty bad.
Well, it looks like your handwriting, that's why.
Yeah, let me take a look at the flag, the ISIS flag.
Also, they drive Toyota, so they're very sensible about their vehicle choices.
The environment. They care about the environment. I don't like the flag is... It's childish.
It's childlike. That's why it looks like Chris Stanley signing a T-shirt.
I'll say this, though. It looks better than any of the flags that just use 3 colors.
Yeah, right?
You know?
I mean, it's definitely unique.
Ireland, Italy, France. Come on, boys. You don't have a fucking marketing team over there to get you going?
I mean, it stands out. Nothing else looks like that.
I actually told him, I go to ISIS too. I said, no one's wearing vests these days. I don't know. You know, you guys fucking look ridiculous. By the way, Scope Bros is still trending nationally.
Love
Very
the
nice.
Scope Bros. Hashtag Scope Bros. Keep it going.
You got to pick somebody too, Chris.
There's going to be a lot to pick from now.
Apparently. Mike Racine is in with us. His new album, Union Delegate, is available on iTunes. Now, tell people why you called it Union Delegate, too, Mike.
Just that scene. Well, I mean, I played around with a bunch of different titles, but the scene in Goodfellas, where he's like, when she goes, what do you do? He goes, I'm a union delegate.
You're obsessed with Goodfellas, huh?
I guess, yeah. But also, it's kind of like, I don't know. I do a lot of these, like, all rooms, but I think I'm kind of a blue collar person, so I don't know, maybe.
I always told everybody that's why I originally registered as a Democrat, because I was pro-union. You don't even see a lot of that anymore. I mean, there's not even a lot of unions to brag about.
Yeah.
But back then, it was like, get in the union. That's what everybody would say to you all the time you're a kid. You got to get in the union.
Oh, yeah.
Do whatever you can. Get in the union. And you'll be set.
Now, does anyone like the unions? Anyone?
No, it started to be destroyed by Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was the first kind of anti-union guy. And that thing has stayed with it in a big, big way. You know, people are like, oh, if Ronald Reagan said it, it must be true. Oh, the way people love Ronald Reagan.
Oh, they love him.
You watch this Fargo TV show?
No.
Please, get to the bottom. If you love Goodfellas, I want you to watch this.
Yeah.
It's like Midwest Goodfellas.
Yeah, it is. Midwest Goodfellas.
Which is somehow scarier.
Hey, there's a Zoolander boycott being put together for Zoolander 2. That's because they make fun of a trans model. A model that's not sure if he's a boy or a girl. Much like the song Rebel Rebel. Now, I got to tell you right now, you're in a comedy, you're going to be made fun of.
It's the way
you
it
think
goes.
the trans would feel good. I mean, I'm sure male models didn't feel good about the first Zoolander.
Sure.
Chris, you were modeling for a while when the first Zoolander came out.
Oh God, yeah, loving it, yeah. And it was just the best. And I don't understand why people are all pissed off at Benedict Cumberbatch.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, that's his character's name is All.
Chris was modeling. It was called Husky Pants, and you said that they were loose fitting, but then tight in the legs.
Yeah, just how you like them. That's how I like my pants, at least.
Like loose here, bunched up at the crotch and belly area,
Yeah.
and then really tight in the thigh.
Yeah, tight in the thigh all the way down.
They were skinny jeans, open crotch is really what we call them.
Like almost diapery around the middle.
But once again, the trans are coming off like they should just be cool with stuff, and people would like them more.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you guys made some pretty good steps last year or two.
Right.
Just chill out, bros.
Right.
Or can I not call them bros?
I mean,
is that
I'm
bad?
not really sure, to be honest.
That's really insulting.
I'm not going to take...
They want to be called bro gals.
Okay, bro gals, just chill the fuck out. It's just
gal
a movie.
bros.
Oh, gal bros. Look, it's just a movie. Zoolander 2. Everyone's been waiting for it.
Have they? 'Cause no one even went to the first one. No one went to the first one at all. Oh, remember when I told you I didn't think there was going to be a big market for the R-rated comedy?
Yeah.
They didn't have a big weekend. Seth
Really?
Rogen. Yeah. And you said, no, it'll be huge. Everyone. And he says to me, everyone in Brooklyn is going to go to this movie. And I'm like, dude, do you realize how much bigger the country is than fucking Billyburg?
No, it's just Brooklyn.
Yeah.
2.5 million people live there.
No, is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't know it was that big.
It's pretty damn big.
If it was a city,
That's a borough.
If it was a city, it'd be the fourth largest city in the country.
Yes, we're all fucking familiar with that ever
Thank
since
you.
Welcome Back, Kotter.
Heard it already, bro.
Brooklyn is bigger than Philadelphia. That's crazy to think.
It's really
but it's
weird.
true.
It takes longer to get to some parts of Brooklyn than it would to get to Philadelphia.
I know
from
by
here.
train.
Yes, it is.
I know if you're on the fucking Acela, you can be in Philly by like an hour.
Yes.
I can't get to Bay Ridge in that time on the fucking Q train.
No way. Most for me to get from Brooklyn to Queens, for me even to get to work. So many people live in Jersey who are commuters to the city and would beat me to work every day.
My girlfriend lives in Bay Ridge. It feels like a vacation home.
Right. It does. Well, you know what? You ever see those big houses along the river?
Yeah.
They were original vacation homes for people from fucking New York. Like people from Manhattan would go, we're going to go over to Brooklyn, bring your fucking trunks. You know what I mean? Bring some towels. It'll be really nice. But those things, because apparently you got a cooler breeze over there.
Yeah.
Coming in off the water. And they fucking loved it. Even if, Gatsby, he wasn't, everyone thinks that Gatsby was in the Hamptons.
He was like in Queens pretty much, right?
Yeah, he was pretty much in Queens. You could still see the city from there.
Pretty weird.
Yeah. I don't think anybody traveled far until the 1950s, Like if you were to travel somewhere, you would just live there, Like I guess the 1%ers got on the Queen Mary. But other than that, if you got on a boat, wherever you got off the boat, you're probably going to live.
Right. It was a voyage to a new life.
Yeah. You kissed your sister goodbye and say, I'm never going to see you again. I'll try to send you letters if we don't die of disease on the ride. Or if we head out west, some Indians don't kill us. The thing is, the Indians, I don't think there's ever been another attack that was just riding circles around someone the way the Indians did. Like if you go back and watch a movie about the Romans, they didn't just start riding around some other fucking thing. They actually attacked. But it looks like the Indians, if you ever watched a cowboy movie, they got in horses and kept riding around. You're like, what is the fucking attack plan here? What do you guys think?
Just generally confuse the person.
Yeah, you don't flank them in any way.
No.
Come in behind them. Just keep fucking riding around them.
You're surrounded.
Yeah.
Now what?
That's always was the funniest shit to me. I'm like, these Indians don't really stand a chance here. They're going to end up losing, I would always say. Did they ever win any other big battle besides Little Bighorn? I know that was one that they fucking just totally kicked ass.
No, they never had their shit together for real.
Yeah.
Ever?
Never. No.
Get it together, Cherokee.
I mean, they were just constantly just getting pushed back. I mean, there was no chance. Between the fucking smallpox blankets and the guns, they couldn't do anything.
You know how you always run into like people who are like descendants of West Coast Indians?
Yeah.
You never run into, you know, the Massapequa tribe, the Lenape tribe. It seems very weird to me that the East Coast guys just disappeared.
They also don't get the same kind of respect as the West Coast guys do.
Never.
I mean, it's just like, you're just like laughed at the East Coast tribes.
I don't know if they were laughed at, but they definitely didn't have the fighting ability as the West Coast.
They were barely farmers.
I mean, it's basically like the NFC East. If you look at it right now, it lines up the same exact way.
They're like the XFL.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. That was short-lived. By the way, Vince is not even doing good with wrestling. Somebody was telling me his wrestling is down. Their ratings are at their 20-year lowest on Monday Night Raw. And I know ISIS was planning on attacking Survivor Series, and I watched some of it and would have been better off if they did. If I'm going to be totally honest, it would have been more action.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No big...
Your cousin is furious.
Really?
He actually said two things. He's going to have the worst Thanksgiving.
Oh, no.
And then he's also going to work harder on his jujitsu, which I don't know how that tied in, as if he was going to somehow do something about it.
Yeah, it's going to inspire.
But he was wearing a huge bandage because his little sister scratched him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And intentionally?
Huh?
Intentionally?
Oh, yeah. He said he was fooling around when he tackled her. She took it serious. So Seth Rogen's thing was down, but they did a piece on him, I think Daily Beast, saying greatest comedian of his generation. I know the iBang put it up, and then a lot of people complained about that. But he has had an enormous amount of success.
Yeah,
From a movie point of view.
Absolutely. If you're looking at comedic films,
yeah,
I don't think anyone could stand up to that.
What he's done in the
how
last 10
many
years.
hits he's had?
Mm-hmm. The listeners were pissed about it.
Really?
I think they wanted Mike Racine, mainly
That's probably
because
why.
this new album of his is just crushing it.
But people will come around eventually. I think we have like 10 or 12 sold on iTunes already. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're moving 12.
Yeah.
You know?
The
Now,
thing
do you-
is, no one really buys comedy CDs anymore, so you don't have to sell that many to get in like the top 10.
Is that right?
Yeah. If I told you the number, it would be, you would laugh.
All right, write it down for me.
All right.
Don't say it out loud.
If you can afford to buy it, why not? You know?
Yeah, why not enjoy yourself a little bit? But you know who is selling an album like nobody? No, you're lying.
No.
You tell me you're lying.
No, I'm not. That's what the guy said at the production company.
So you're feeling good about yourself?
I'm feeling great. I'm like number 7. I think last I checked, I was number 7 on iTunes.
Oh my God.
That's how few people, purchase the.
I'd like to get the scope rolls behind this.
Yeah.
But, there's still Spotify and Pandora and all that stuff. The streaming stuff. That's what people listen to.
Maybe you heard of Sirius XM. They have,
XM, Yeah.
Are you getting played on there?
I think so.
Let's make sure after the show today. Now, Adele, they think her first week sales are going to be 2.5 million fucking units, which puts her easily as number one in the comedy albums.
Definitely.
But 2.5 million would be the biggest of all time. We're sitting around talking about how these things don't fucking sell.
Right.
Right. Albums don't sell anymore.
But she also did a thing where she's made no deals with streaming. So I think that you cannot get this album on Spotify.
Oh,
You
interesting.
can't get it through any other
You want it, you gotta
Pandora.
buy it.
Yeah. So I think Taylor Swift had done that before her, and I think she had a good success. So it was similar to that, but they think that this is going to far crush her.
In her first week, she will have sold more than Taylor Swift did this entire year.
Wow.
Taylor Swift sold like 1.8 million this year.
Face Tay-Tay.
And then I sold 2.1 on my fucking album, Covers of the 70s, I call it.
Nice.
And just songs that I remember from the 1970s.
And you're singing them, or?
Yeah, I'm doing Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. I'm doing Run, Run, Run by JoJo Gunn. Oddly, I do the night the lights went out in Georgia. I just thought it would be cool to speed it up a little
like
bit.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I saw a commercial late at night for Time Life, like Sounds of the 70s. Yeah. And then I just wrote every song down and made a Spotify playlist. The thing was like $200. 6 payments of $30. You can have all the songs that you loved.
Now, you're a fan of the 70s kind of music?
I like everything. Yeah.
Some people do. They like everything. Chris Stanley likes everything but what, Chris?
Jimmy Buffett.
You don't like Jimmy Buffett?
No, I'm a Buffett fan. Everything else, give it to me. Make my
Is there
ears
any
sing.
genre of music that is a no-go for you?
Just the Buffett, just that crazy parrot rock.
You just don't like parrot rock?
Yeah, hate it. Can't stand it.
Have you heard Cheeseburger in Paradise? You might like that one.
That one you probably would
It's
like.
about a guy. He's in a beautiful fucking spot.
Okay.
He gets really hungry for a big fucking cheeseburger and then writes a song about it.
You like the sound of that, don't you?
I feel I would like that.
It's like divorce. It's like divorce music.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
You ought to try to call one just called the fucking hot dog with everything in Guatemala. You know what I mean? See if that works for you. Well, you can go check out this album. By the way, I'm going to say it again. Just hilarious. A very, very funny man. Chris, remember the first time you were with me when he did that contest.
New York's Funniest, yeah, last year.
And we were biting through our wrists.
Ridiculous sad. It's so goddamn funny. So fucking funny.
It didn't hit super hard, though. I mean, Ricky won, and Ricky kind of crushed, but yeah.
It didn't.
Why'd you vote for Ricky, though, over me, if I was so good?
First of all, who said that I did?
Okay.
I wasn't the only judge. Did you think I'm fucking sitting there like Judge Judy?
I guess not.
I'd have fucking yelled.
I guess not.
Well, by the way, you were with a great fucking crew of people.
Yeah.
Everybody, in my opinion, got either 9s or 10s. But I did see one of the judges torpedo a couple of people.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there was any reason? I mean, from your perspective, you said everyone has 9s and 10s.
Mm-hmm.
So you felt like everyone was doing good. Is there any reason that you would have thought this particular
Could have been a
judge-
personal. Could have been a personal thing.
Really?
One of the people had. And I watched that dude fucking torpedo somebody that maybe could have won it.
Damn.
Yeah.
I wonder why. That's crazy. Shady business.
Let me tell you something. If you give somebody, let's suppose you have a guy going into it that you like from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And you know that everybody's going to be like me, from 8s to 10s probably, because you're already getting the best fucking comics in the city at the time.
Right.
So there's not a lot of leeway here. Like if you were to sit down and go, oh, it's, I'm picking between a set that David Tell had or Louis C.K. had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a thin line. That's how this was. These guys were all about at the same level. Everybody did great. But let's suppose I had a dog in the horse, somebody I wanted to see win.
Yeah.
If I gave some fucking 2s and 3s to anybody, it destroys their chances. Because everybody else, is making it a very thin line. I was actually thinking, we should have 8.5s or something.
Was that as bad as the torpedo was? Like you saw a 2 or a 3 get thrown out?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God.
I'll also say this. They didn't even watch the person's full set. They got up and checked on something. And that's why I was able to look at their paper.
That's sick.
I wrote on the paper, how dare you?
Stuff like that gives comedy contests a bad name, I think. Because they're supposed to be.
Well, a comedy contest.
Don't you have integrity?
Don't you think, here's the weird thing. Just doing it should have been called like the spotlight, because it was all the best people in town.
Yeah. And
they were being looked at by industry people. And is your life going to be better if you're the winner or just seen by those industry people? Probably not. You know what I mean? But I remember we just did our thing the other night for the Thanksgiving show. Louis J. Gomez kept yelling at me through the whole thing. We need to pick a winner. Because I just wanted to showcase.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fine, fucking pick a winner. Is that where we finally are? Everything's going to be a competition with you, Lois? You have to scope everything that you're doing?
He's a competitive guy. He doesn't feel good until he knows someone's on top.
Exactly. He sees everything as, ultimate fighting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. He needs Ronda Rousey to be kicked in the face.
What awards do you think Lewis would win if there was one?
Well, I think that he would. I think that Lewis, in his life, is probably more loyal than anybody else in New York comedy. I think Louis is the type of guy who would not only help you fucking hide a body, that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he would also run into a crowd to fucking pull you out of it.
He's a good man.
Yeah. He is a great fucking person. I think he's on the big things. I really do. I think he could be deported at any moment. And that's fucking known. And he hasn't upped his green card. He's trying, that's why he had that baby. He wants to stay with the baby. He's
Anchor baby?
Yeah, that's a fucking anchor baby. Should be called a balloon baby.
The real
Because
ass
it fucking
baby?
floats you above it all. Yeah, comedy contests should have a bad fucking vibe about them. They need one.
Yeah, they're gross.
They are. And anyone who joins into one, in my opinion, is a whoremaster.
I was asked to perform.
Oh, that's great. Then. I wasn't talking about you. I meant others. Oh, this is good. The mafia has vowed to protect New York City from ISIS.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
They got our backs.
Yeah.
I trust them.
All four of them that are left.
Yeah. They did a good job with the docs all those years. We're watching the docs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, they say ISIS is afraid of them. So ISIS definitely won't screw around because they're afraid of the mafia.
I'm not sure ISIS thinks about them.
All right, Chris, here's a fucking problem I have.
Okay.
Have you heard of this LSD microdosing?
Yeah, I have heard of it, where people just eat a little bit of drugs every single day.
They take a tenth of a hit of acid. They said it makes them more creative and gives them energy, but they're not necessarily tripping.
Is this kind of like how Mr. Robot did? He just had a little minimum. Didn't he do a little bit of heroin?
Yeah, he said he did a little bit, but
to maintain.
Yeah.
So this is like that, but a LSD microdosing.
To me, you're wasting 90% of every hit of acid out there. If we wanted people to do a tenth of a hit, we'd sell it that way. Do it all.
I know a guy who did that with mushrooms. He said it was great. It made him very happy. He was just eating a little bit of mushrooms every single a day for a few weeks.
I've never been around anybody who fucking microdosed in my life. Everybody I know double dosed.
That's what I'm talking about.
Even first time in. I got a very fucking high constitution. You better give me 2 hits.
I want to make sure it works.
Yeah.
I need to know. I'm going to be able to feel this.
It doesn't kick in 5 minutes.
I'll tell you this. One time when I'm kids, we drive this car across the country. I'm 17 at the time. So we get to San Francisco and we buy some fucking acid on the street. We feel fucking great about it. So we start to fucking eat. We're not getting off. My friend, he's like, fuck. He keeps eating fucking more and more. So I'd eaten 2. He was in 9, 10 fucking hits of acid in this. I'm literally going like this, saying a Catholic prayer. Do not make sure this acid kicks in late, or this motherfucker's in some serious trouble here. Luckily, we were fucking ripped off by some fucking scumbag who we spent time looking for the last time we were in San Francisco.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Fucking rip you off for that much acid?
I'm not even kidding, because I thought to myself, here we are, we're fucking 17. We're going to be tripping in San Francisco. This is the perfect day of my life. Then to have doing that thing of, hey, you feel anything? And you're like this. I think a little bit,
Yeah.
Seeing a little bit of colors and trails, but you're lying.
You just want to believe.
But
so
even
bad.
psychologically, if I told any of you guys, by the way, I dosed your water, you would kind of think for a little while, I think I am tripping.
Oh yeah, because it's just weird being a person anyway. So you're going to start picking up on every weird sensation you're having.
That's fucking funny. Most of the time we ignore them.
Uh-huh.
Our eyes, they say, block out most of the things that we see, or else we'd go nuts. You're not paying attention to most things.
That makes me feel nuts. I'm not seeing everything I should be.
No.
And everything's more tingly than we'd like to believe, I think. It's everything makes a lot more sound than we pay attention to.
I'll tell you this. Here's the thing. Just take your hand and put it on the back of your head, right?
Okay.
And doesn't it feel smaller than you thought it would?
Stop! You're freaking me out!
See, that's the kind of shit that you pay attention to when you're fucking tripping.
Yeah, so if you're thinking that you could possibly be, you would obviously start to convince yourself that you were.
Right.
You ever just think about, your eyes could just be, really dry right now if you think about it?
Oh,
You're
God, man.
That's not enough liquid
I'm
in
gonna
there.
fucking pour water in my eyes.
Just not enough.
I had this friend of mine, we were fucking at the beach for a week. And again, we're children. And he goes like this. Hey, this would be really funny. One night when I'm sleeping, just fucking put some purple microdot in my fucking mouth and I'll wake up tripping. You know what I mean? But don't tell me when you're going to do it.
Who would want to do this?
This fucking crazy bitch. So I'm like, fuck you, man. I'm not playing that fucking game with you. Because somebody dosed the guy in my fucking neighborhood, and he turned into like, seriously, like that fucking idiot Beach Boys, fucking Brian Wilson.
Oh, so he never came back?
No, but he might have been like half on the bubble as it was.
Sure.
You know, because he didn't want to get high, and then other people were like, I bet he does want to get high. And I know the fucking guy who put it in a sandwich. And that fucking kid ended up going to Nut Hut for a while. And when he came out, he said everything really slow. Like nobody fucking hung out with him anymore.
See, that's annoying. Like, speed it up.
Well,
buddy.
I think that they put him on some kind of
like lithium or
antipsychotic fucking drugs. So then now he gains weight. He's talking fucking slow. Everybody tells him they fucking see him. They're fucking pissed at the other guy.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah. By the way, nicknamed himself Zach. Nobody else called him that. He'd be like this. Hey, it's me, Zach.
No.
Like, hi, Pat.
Can't give yourself a nickname. It doesn't work that way.
Now, you tell that to Scope Bro over there.
What up, Scope Bros? Hashtag Scope Bros.
You brought in this story that Donald Trump had a fucking daughter that none of us knew about until he did 2020 the other night.
You mean not the blonde?
Ivanka has a younger daughter. So they're showing the whole family sitting there, and there's one that we never saw before.
Yeah, Tiffany Trump. She's
that sounds made up.
Tiffany Trump, yeah.
I think it's his daughter with Marla Trump.
Yeah, so Ivanka's half-sister.
Oh my God,
sibling,
what happened to her? There's only half.
But yeah, no one knew about her until she went on to 2020 on Friday. And she opened up about her dad, saying like, oh yeah, I think people can relate to him. And I'm thinking, all right, well, you're very young and rich. Can you relate to us? Let's find out right now in 2020.
But see, here's the thing. Those kids are, for billionaires' kids, really level. I mean, you can say whatever you want about Donald Trump, but his kids are not maniacs.
Yeah, most celebrity kids are crazy.
Off the fucking rails.
The Hiltons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bananas.
They go around doing fucking coke out of a snow shovel. I mean, they got so much money they can't stand it. But those Trump kids seem to be very pleasant people.
She looks like who was that actress from the 90s who popped her titty out on the red carpet? She looks like her.
Lil' Kim?
No.
Lil' Kim did pop her titty out, though.
Come on, you know who I mean. She's pretty much mostly known for nip slip. I can't think of it.
Are you talking about the crazy one that was an American...
Blonde.
Yeah, American Pie?
Tara Reid?
Tara Reid. She kind of looks like Tara Reid.
Let's see.
She's got a Tara Reid thing going.
She could play the Tara Reid story, but I bet she'd use a fake...
Tara Reid could not even land that gig.
She would probably have to put in a fake plastic tit because her dad's running for president. There's another thing. Everyone's all up in arms over this Miley Cyrus thing. This is up on the iBang. It is Miley Cyrus singing at her show with fake tits out and a giant fake dick.
So she doesn't have her tits out.
No, those are plastic tits, I believe.
Yeah, those. I think she's smaller than that.
But that is a real dick.
Oh, okay.
That's Miley Cyrus's actual dick.
Wow, good for her.
Now, people are mad about that thing. But, Chris, you said it turned you on.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, actually. I was like,
Why?
this is pretty sexy. I don't know, just seeing her with a dick. It was like, oh, wow, this is different.
Chris,
and those,
do you like to see anybody with a dick? Or just her?
Just her, maybe other women, I don't know. Like other actresses or like Katy Perry could go do that. I'd be interested to see that as well.
So strange.
So pop stars with dicks would be
a
fucking tour for you.
Pop dicks.
Pop dicks.
How about Justin Bieber? Would you like to see his dick out?
I did.
You know what? Yeah, I would like to actually see the dick out. Just to look at it.
Well, it's out there, dude. It's on the internet.
I gotta check that shit out.
Yeah, but it's fappening. You're not supposed to go look at somebody's fappening.
Yeah, I didn't look for it.
But it's just somebody.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I swear, I didn't mean to.
So you never saw Jennifer Lawrence's pictures or any of those?
No, I didn't. And I legitimately did not. When I saw that it was out there, I made a conscious decision that I was like, if I didn't go looking for the
Let's find out. Let me see your phone. I'm going to type in Justin Bieber and see what the next Google word is.
You don't need to do that. That's just because I've been listening to all his music.
I remember somebody had written that if you look at, they tweeted out, it was a comic. He goes, if you fucking tweeted this out, you're a scumbag. Please don't look at the fappening pictures. And then Michael Ian Black immediately tweeted, too late. And I fucking laughed. Seriously. I laughed for fucking 2 days over that.
Too late.
Our Thanksgiving show is this week. And I just saw this 2 minutes ago. Louis J. Gomez was with Joe List, two of the people from our Thanksgiving show.
Two people who gave thanks.
Who killed it.
Yeah.
Who killed it. They were amazing. Chris, you did your scope today before the show.
Scope Talk Live. Thank you guys for being on the panel.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, it was great to be on your panel today. We like the talking head thing. It's fun for us.
It works well for us. It's a good dynamic.
You're like one of those 90s pop-up shows.
Yeah, but better because it's on Periscope. STL. That's what we call it for short.
Why?
Because Scope Talk Live, sometimes that could be too long, so you just get the initials out there.
I never even thought of it that way. You're right.
Yeah.
So smart.
STL.
It worked for TRL, so it makes sense it would work for you.
Now, the thing that we were saying about Trump having the fake daughter, not a fake daughter, but a daughter none of us knew.
Secret daughter.
And by the way, they said that Ivanka is the one who got her back into with the whole family. Ivanka is the one that keeps all the children from all the marriages because he's got kids with 3 different, as he calls them, baby mamas. Trump calls them baby mamas, but that's nice. You always need that one female member of the family.
Yes.
Who's like, I'm going to keep this family together.
The matriarch, if you will.
Mm.
And that's Ivanka.
You're the one for us, I think.
You think so?
Well, you're the only one who cares one way or another.
That's true.
Your aunt cares about her family. She keeps them together.
Yeah. I keep this family together.
Yeah.
Our family and the Bennington show family, I think.
Yeah, I think you do. I think they'd be off, wandering off doing stuff.
I check in with everybody, bring them all together.
You're the one who stopped us from firing Joe.
Wait, what? Several times.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can't believe it.
You are welcome.
Look at the comments on her Instagram just from lunatics around the internet.
What are they saying?
Wouldn't vote for your dad, but I definitely fuck you.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
It's a compliment.
You know what? I would do both. And I'm going to say that while I was voting. I don't know what we're going to do if we don't get Trump.
Can I drink your bathwater? Somebody said, oh my God, can I drink your bathwater?
She'll sell it to him.
Yeah.
I think he's aiming too low. I don't think that's well worth it. Aim a little higher for yourself.
Right.
Mike, you got a check in your life right now?
Yeah, I'm seeing somebody. She's
really?
Yeah. She's good. She's a speech pathologist.
So is she working on this with you?
Well,
she helping you with your arse?
A little bit, yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
because I can never understand you.
Thank you. I think we're making some progress.
That's all we ever want to do. Yeah. Where'd you meet her at? A show?
She works at Caroline's too. She's a waitress, so she works there on the weekends. And but she put herself through school, working there and everything.
She helped get you sets?
So
with Caroline's?
No.
Do you ever get a call like, hey, there's a fallout? Call them right now.
No, not really.
Harry, call those. There's a fallout.
Yeah.
Somebody's drunk.
Hey, I just want to see what you guys are up to.
What is your home club right now? New York?
Yeah, I guess New York. They give me. I don't really have a home club.
That's
though.
Sad.
Yeah, I know.
How long have you been doing
stand-up? Comics about 9 years.
9 years and no home club.
There's a lot of comics in the city, though.
Who gives you sets?
Caroline's does. I probably get up there the most in the past couple months, and then New York Comedy Club.
How many sets you do a week?
I don't know, maybe 10. I should be doing more, but it's every week is like a little different,
right? Dad, how many sets you do in a week? Be honest.
Whatever he says, subtract 3 from the number.
No, I try to do 3 or 4 a night, but they're not all booked. I'll do a couple mics and then shows.
So you'll do 28, 30 sets a week?
No, over 20, yeah.
Because you're out 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Mike seems very fucking lazy next to you right now.
No, Mike works very hard, and he's very funny.
No, I know that he's funny, but he's doing 1/3 of the sets that you're doing every single week.
I don't know if it's a third. I mean, I don't. It's every
and doing way better.
Right.
Oh yeah, he's doing way better.
No one disputes that.
No one ever said that. We all know that. That's an obvious.
I don't have to work as hard. I'm like naturally gifted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to practice.
Yeah. And you said a lot of your stuff was just apologizing. You said half of your fucking night is apologizing and then explaining jokes.
Exactly.
You're going, look.
Well, where I was going with that is.
Yeah. And he actually sealed this out. Prussia was early, and then people are like, oh, now I'm starting to get it. I see why you went with that.
It's a lot of TED Talks.
But you usually win them over, by the end. It just takes some time.
He wins over their sympathy, if not their laughter.
There you go.
That's good. That's strong. Now, when you look, you've been doing comedy how long?
Like 3.5 years.
Okay. So he's done it 3 times longer than you. When you look at Mike, do you go, that's where I want to be in another 6? Or are you like, what is this fucking guy doing?
No, somewhere in the middle. I mean, I don't want to follow Racine's track because he's doing his own thing, but he's one of my favorite people to watch.
Right, but I'm not talking about fucking abilities. I'm talking about success level. Do you see yourself?
No, you want a lot. You want to be doing
more.
way better, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
What do you see yourself in 6 years? Hosting a late night show?
And why do you think you'll be doing better than me? What makes you so special?
Why?
Because
the quantity of sex.
Just a hope.
Yeah, you work 3 times
You're a
harder
straight
than
white male, buddy, okay?
So are you.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying. We got an uphill battle.
Is that true? Do you feel like it's tougher for white male
I mean, I don't want to
comics?
say that, but, I mean, we all have our CrossFit
Isn't it funny
bear.
the one thing that doesn't work for you being a white male, it works in any other job? I mean, if you guys wanted to be cops, you'd be fucking detectives by now.
Right.
But that's got to just be quantity of white male comics. I mean,
I think so. Yeah.
So many comics are white males.
But
so
is
it's
that
gonna
true
be
of every job?
Yeah.
I was on a plane once. I saw a black woman walk into the cockpit. I went, whoa. Let me off here. I've just remembered something. I got to get out of here right now. And they said, no, we're shutting the door. And I was screaming, I don't want to die. And then you start to yell at everybody, there's a black woman pilot. I think it's Miss Pat. We've got to get off this fucking plane. By the way, I saw Miss Pat scoping at Atlanta Falcons game. And she literally said that she was going to kick the ass of everybody around her. This is a Colts fan. I'm going to kick her ass after the scope. And then she pointed out another person. She was going to physically kick their ass out after the scope. I was dying. Then when I saw the Falcons lost later that day, I felt bad for Miss Pat. She had some decent money into those seats, I'm sure. She had nice seats. All right. So you're saying that the only reason that white men do better is there's so many of us.
I'm not saying that, but I am saying that the reason that it's got to be hard in comedy is because it's so oversaturated, where if you look at comedy audiences, it's not predominantly white male. It's a good mix.
Okay,
It's lots of different races, a lot of men and women.
I went to Big J's. What's your fucking deal?
Yep.
And it looked like he was doing comedy in the UN. I'm like, what the? I actually said, is he shipping these people in?
They're all bussed in.
Are they?
Yeah.
Because there happen to be, 2 people in wheelchairs on a date.
Right.
They got 15 fucking minutes. All right, so good. So he's hiring people
Wait, you're
off
saying
the
the
street.
comics or the people in
No, all
they
the
were audience members?
Yeah, all of the comics were straight white males. I mean, there's nothing but white males in Big J's world. But the audience itself, like, here's an Iranian, here's a Filipino, I'm like, oh, this worked out for him tonight. This is a nice thing to happen. If you're going to work the crowd, you do want to have people from all over the world. But I'll give you another thing. People on the moon, right? People who walked on the moon. All white males.
White male.
Yeah.
Situation.
The Beatles.
White males.
All white males.
Right.
Yeah.
At some point, thank us. That's all I'm saying. At some point, thank us for getting to the moon.
I mean, there's no doubt you guys have done well for yourselves.
Ourselves, yes. And, others.
Yeah. You'll once in a while rope us in.
Yeah, we'll take you. We like to look out for the world as white males. I had said this before. People don't believe me, but if something comes up in any situation, a white male will think, I'll get us out of this. And I don't know if any other ethnic group does this. But if you're on a fucking elevator and it gets stuck, a white guy's going to go, hold on, everybody, calm down. Here's what we're going to do. You know what I mean? White guys just naturally assume, and we feel like we're in service, but I think other people think that we're trying to boss them around.
And maybe we have the power because God wants it that way.
Well, he was a white male from the pictures that I've seen. Well, illustrations. I don't know if they're pictures.
Elderly white male, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's something for us to shoot to. You know what I mean? I mean, when you get to be a few billion years old, you've got, and you're a white male, you've got nothing but shit you've got to do. Now, let me say this. Who would you rather, like, let's say that you're in a boat, the boat starts singing.
Okay.
Who would you rather listen to? Mitt Romney or ISIS?
Okay, those are my only two options.
All right, Patti LaBelle is also on the same boat.
Patty!
By the way, she gave 0 props to the guy who sold those
saw
pies.
that.
She was fucking kind of mean to him.
Yeah, she was like, trust and believe I was selling pies before he came around.
Yeah.
Like acting like that wasn't the reason
Right.
that Walmart sold out of her pies. Come on. It's him. Who would even think to buy a Patti LaBelle pie at Walmart?
But I think she cringed because she's a church lady and he is obviously gay.
He's a gay man.
Yeah, by the way, when we were saying guys that got stuff done, we're talking about straight white males. I thought that.
Oh, yeah, that's the implication.
And then second, gay white males.
Yeah. Third, black males.
Say mulattoes first.
Okay. I didn't know that we were going to count that as a subgroup.
I actually would look to an Asian guy. I think an Asian guy might be helpful.
Also, we sent some monkeys into space that did pretty well.
Fucking racist, dude.
Come on.
You know what?
Unbelievable.
I don't care if you do 30 sets a fucking week.
Yeah.
That's bad.
That is such a straight white male thing to say.
And it really is. But also, we discovered this country where there happened to have been American Indians. And they had never even discovered themselves until some white males got here.
I mean, where do you put them on the list?
Well, I mean, if we were tracking stuff, I'd put them very high.
Oh, yeah. Trackers?
Yeah. I always liked in a movie a Indian guy who would wear like a white dude's, I don't know, like a Yankee hat, you know?
Yeah, that's cool.
Or put on a jacket, like a white guy's jacket. And I guess the other Indians just fucking hated that dude.
But I'd like a little fusion with it, too. Like, you should still probably be wearing, like, some turquoise or feathers somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want you to go full out. That looks like a wannabe. I like just like your influence, but you still got your own thing.
That's a great look.
Right.
It comes off very rock and roll, you know what I mean? It's going to be a sexy look.
It's almost like when you see a black dude with a guitar. You're like, I don't know what's going on,
but I like
But this is really interesting. It was like if they came in, you're like, oh, the drums are over there. Like, no, I play guitar, and you're like, trying not to act surprised, but I am.
So your drums are over there.
Has there ever been a big American band with an Asian guy playing an instrument?
Okay.
And I'm not talking about the fake fucking Journey, Steve Perry. I'm talking about like an Asian guitar player that was, blowing people away.
Well, there's the band Asia, but I guess they don't count either.
That's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
That Asia is from Europe. Now, remember the band Europe?
Yeah.
Also from Europe,
Whoa.
which is...
Well, there's the band Foreigner, but then they got their visas, and then they became the band America.
You know what? I don't know whether you had this material planned, did you?
No, I did. I just made that up literally.
Oh, then
right
it's
now.
really good.
Thanks.
There was an Asian in Smashing Pumpkins, wasn't there?
Yes, good call.
Was there?
Yeah, there was an Asian in Smashing Pumpkins.
And last time Steve Jordan was here, he had a Japanese guitar player who he said is just amazing, and is like people stand in line to see him. I can't remember the guy's name. Steve Jordan said he's one of the best guitar players he's ever seen in his life, and I trust Steve Jordan with everything. But we haven't had a lot of Asian Americans.
Yeah,
we don't have a Yo-Yo Ma of rock, is what I'm saying.
I feel like maybe the lead singer of MXPX was half Asian descent, but I don't think he was full on. I could be wrong. But, you know, they never really hit that big anyway.
No.
So that could be part of what held them back. He also might not be Asian. He's like an ambiguous race to me. Very handsome, but I don't know.
All right, let's take a look at him.
MXPX, Joseph.
All right, some people are also calling in to help us with this, too, at 844 Rock God. Mike Racine is here. His new album is available, and, well, it's kicking ass. It's number 7 right now on the comedy charts.
And Mike's performing at Hope Underground in Newport, Rhode Island.
Sweet.
November 27th. And at Lincoln's in Portland, Maine, December 3rd. Go to MikeRacine.com for tickets and all dates and information. The new album is Union Delegate. It's available now on iTunes and Google Play. And again, MikeRacine.com for all dates.
Do you get mad at me for stealing your plug, Era? You can say it. Hey, Jim and I, what's up, buddy?
Hey, you were talking about Asian musicians. There's a guy in L.A. in the 70s named Richard Chen, a bass player. Played with everybody. He made his mark with Ron Stewart. Played bass on Do You Think I'm Sexy and all the period Ron Stewart.
Now, where's he from originally? California or Asia itself?
Oh, God. You know, I don't know.
But he's a session guy and well known as being great.
Oh, yeah. It was session bass player in L.A.
All right, Richard Chen. All right, thanks so much for that. Here's Jay, California. Hey, Jay.
Hey, first and foremost, Tommy Chong is Asian, and he played on a lot of those Motown records.
Well, at least he played on one, and then he wrote one of my fucking favorite Motown songs of all time. But if I told you the name of the band that he had, then they actually had to... I can't even tell you right now on air because we live in such a politically correct time.
And it was his idea for the band?
Yeah, he was a very, very... Even before that, he was... funny, but he wrote this song called Does Your Father Know About Me? That is a great fucking Motown
Yeah.
song. It might be Does Your Daddy Know About Me? I don't know.
Yeah, but it's a black singer, right? So that's kind of interesting that
But
he wrote it.
He wrote it. He was in that band. They were all from Vancouver, I believe, at the time. Here is... so, anything else, Jay, or is that it?
No, I was going to say am I still on?
Yeah.
There's this popular, like, Hot Topic mall metal band called Dragon Force, and they had an Asian guitar player.
I don't know them, but
Never
I love
heard
the
of
name Dragon Force. It's happening.
I'm also being told that the lead singer of MXPX is of Mexican and Welsh descent, so not even close.
Okay. It's still as close to me. Kelly in Atlanta.
Hey, here's a real rock band. Half the band is half Filipino, Van Halen brothers.
Now that's interesting because Alex kind of looks, he's got an Asian look about him.
Yeah.
But then they both worked that whole, were they German or Swedish or some shit?
He's German, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, their father was a travel musician and met their mother. But yeah, I always thought Alex was just stoned until I saw a documentary on him a few years ago.
I had no idea that. I think they should have pushed it more. And now that they're always looking for new Van Halen singers, they should steal Journey's Filipino.
I like that
fucking
idea.
classic.
Perfect.
Zach, what's up?
Well, I mean, the late 80s and early 90s are still kind of dim in my memory for a variety of reasons, but I think I remember the Pixies guitarist was an Asian dude.
No, Joey Santiago, Hispanic origins.
Well, he could be Filipino. They all have Spanish names.
Filipinos are always confuse everybody.
Yeah, it's very vague. You can't really quite figure it out.
I'm not confused about their egg rolls, though. They're delicious.
I'm already starving for it right now. All right, so more Asian guys than we thought.
There are more, but still, it still feels like a bit of a reach. Like,
well, it's different, but then Korean pop is gigantic, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's the biggest pop in the world. Here's Bob. Bob, go ahead.
Hey, if you're a lot of Middle Eastern people count as Asian, and that would be Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons is Jewish.
No, what's the other guy from Kiss that's Asian? He's Israeli.
Israeli is not Asian.
I would never call that Asian.
There's somebody from that area that's Asian from Kiss.
Yeah, we don't consider that Asian at all. That's the Middle East. It's Israel.
No one would dispute that.
You're wrong, bro.
Hang up on this clown.
All right, easy, everybody.
Right.
Easy. Let's calm down.
Get out
I hate that guy.
He's a jerk.
Rick Shapiro's coming in next. Mike, you could stay. Do you know Rick?
Yeah, sure.
Would you like to stay?
Sure. Yeah.
We'd love to have
Thanks
you
a
here.
lot.
Can you imagine this? The comedians that come in,
I love it.
what they do?
I love
So
it.
nice.
Mixing and matching. Chris, you remember what you said, that Mike would storm out of here?
Yeah, I thought I would just be a madman. I'd be pissed.
Do you not want me here?
Don't be that way,
No.
Chris.
I don't
Come
know,
on.
man. Must be Rick Shapiro's time.
I, for one, disagree. I think you should stay.
Do you really
Actually,
think it should be Rick Shapiro's time and he should leave?
I got to record a podcast anyway. So.
Oh, really? You have to go record podcast now.
Oh, look, here they are. Good to see it. Why don't we break? And we'll be right back. It's the Bennington Show. Rick Shapiro is in studio with us. Rick's going to be performing in Chicago at North Thursday, December 10th. You can also go to rickshapiro.tv for additional dates and more information. And you're doing Anthony's Thanksgiving podcast tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm going to come down for that as well.
Great.
Always great to see you, buddy. How's everything?
See you too. Today I'm in my head. Today's crazy, but things are actually good. Got a couple of films, and finally the morass of L.A. and LAAA rising out of me, getting serious roles and shit.
Yeah,
which I'm now they call me.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I got a movie where I play a Steve McQueen type of cop coming out called Timeless. But it's funny, in Germany, like overseas, they go like, you could play a loose cannon cop, you could play a Marine, you could play, and out here they're like, homeless guy. I mean, and then I said no more. Then they go like, well, here's an almost homeless guy, but he's not. Oh, by the way, I'm on the Maron show, like 5 episodes. This wild ass character. That show they write smart, like
right.
A violent Buddhist, you know, who shoots crows and still goes to look for. What's that called? I'm going to stutter on the word, so you got to watch the episode to find out.
Marin has been a very good opportunity for you, though, because obviously you know Mark for a long time, and he trusts you to do stuff.
Well, I had to make sure. Well, the funny thing is, they wouldn't consider me to come on the podcast as a well-known comedian for a year, that they said.
Is that right? So
Tracy, my manager, and I guess wife, if you like wives. I like girls. But just so you know.
Glad we're clear.
That was a sailboat on your shirt. I almost had a flashback. So Tracy called, how about if he reads for this one line, character? And they go, he won't want to do that. And Tracy goes, she goes out, and I went in and read for the line. And then they were blown away, so he gave me his character and wrote him out. So that's been an opportunity, you know.
Yeah, that's been fantastic.
But then he brought me on his podcast before that, because we hadn't talked for years. We totally misunderstood each other. We were hating each other for so many years. And then it was a whole hour long of like, you meant that when you said this?
Right.
You meant that when you said this? And then we hugged and kind of cried, and people showed up outside the door with tissues and Doberman puppies.
Well, you guys are somewhat similar personality-wise, right? I mean, you kind of are on the same path. And guys like that normally have it's like if you know two guys that remind you of each other, you go, oh, I want you to meet this guy. You're going to love him.
It never works out.
It never works out
we
that
would
way.
go like, we're nothing alike.
Yeah, right.
Trying to level myself with this microphone.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you. You sound good.
The question is, do I want to be heard? So many questions. Not enough walks.
Well, I'm
like a comic grabbing for the mic stand.
Yeah. You are such a funny guy, but there's always been this kind of ebb and flow roller coaster ride to your career, right? I mean,
yeah, it seems more like a slow inch by inch. Oh yeah, I guess so. I had a show for a while. I forgot. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you,
it's a pain in the ass because I'm starting to, I feel good. Like I never feel like this downtrodden thing.
Right.
But once in a while I'll be like, and I don't entertain that, but because I like what I do, I always feel like I'm accomplishing or whatever's going on is going, there's something going on. It's a weird kind of faith when you hate the word faith.
Right. But your faith is basically in creativity, right? You'll jump on stage, and just start to work some of these things out.
Yeah, that's it. But I guess that's where my faith is. You know, I keep, but I feel great on and off, you know, on the way and on stage and off. But then my faith almost relies in like other people telling me have faith.
Is that right?
Yeah, but now because of this thing, I have a little bit of Parkinson's, but I box hard, so it doesn't show up.
Yeah.
This morning was the first time it did, probably from jet lag or something.
Yeah.
But because of that, it's brought this. When people, I live with someone, I'm staying with someone who like goes like, "Oh, you poor guy." I'm like, no, it's this whole other thing.
Yeah.
Like the contrast of what I want, who I am versus that. Made me feel and think and be more alive than ever, and not surrender.
Right. So just the focus of dealing with it has actually been good for you from a creative point of view, right? You just
not dealing with it. I'm saying I don't have it.
Yeah.
You know, I just flick the bird. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like I go, cause they don't really know if you have Parkinson's until after you're dead. They do an autopsy.
Right.
Unless you stutter and they go, no, yeah, but they don't know till after you're dead. And I stutter now. I have to confront this all the time. I stutter because I've been in LA for 9 years and everybody whispers. So that's why I have that like, hey, how you doing? Part of my voice. I went on a date with a girl. I was like, do you realize I've been whispering to you for an hour? And I go, that's not okay. So I stutter because I'm used to this. As I'm about to say something, the guy goes, what's up? And you go like, oh, I forgot. You know, I had a thought. 9 years, I couldn't read the newspaper, and it's only been 6.5 years. And the minute I walk by a newsstand and go like, no, I can't. It'll make me know where I am. Or the minute I couldn't buy a newspaper, I couldn't even read.
Yeah.
I was holding on to my head all day to make sure. And as soon as I got here, I buy a new newspaper after years. and I'm on stage, I'm thinking out loud. Oh man, it's dangerous out there. Unless, my first week, I punched a couple of guys because I couldn't understand why guys on dates would let these guys be obnoxious. And I said, these guys are drunk and pulling these girls' hair and their dates aren't doing anything. And my H&M friend with H&M hair, H&M tattoos, was like, it's LA, dude. They'll chill. I said, you waiting for them to chill? And the guy made a mistake. He's sitting down at the booth next to me, and I gave him one, forgot I knew karate. I thought I was going to punch him. I gave him this up the nose.
Yeah.
And I had to, cause that'll kill you, so I had to pull back. Be like, but it was a great, the rest of the story is great too. It was the greatest thing. I guess if I would get out of I guess I should tell you the rest of the story.
Sure.
Well, it's funny because he was a friend of a friend, this guy. So he said he'll drive you around. And he goes, he takes me out, the guy goes, the two guys stood up. They were tall. After I hit one of them, and I said, "You better be good. You better bark good." And you would understand this. As I stood up, and they were really tall, I said, a little voice in my head, "Step into the hurricane. The vocabulary will come." And I was like, "Wow, that's a weird fighter's voice, you know." And so I stepped down, and nobody. And I was still from New York, so I still went like, how about I take both your fucking cocks off, shove them down your fucking throats? And they step behind each other. And the guy said, the maitre d' said, you gotta go. I said, come on, they're bozos.
Yeah.
And he goes, no. I said, bozos, right up to their noses. So I go outside, my friend gives this long talk. My new so-called friend, and he goes, what's wrong with you, man? What's the matter? He goes, I'm a new friend. You can't involve me in your fights. I said, I'm a narcissist. This has nothing to do with you. In fact, stay out of it. And then he goes, give me his long talk about what's going on. What's happening? What are you really upset about? How could you do that? You don't know who you are. You don't know your feelings. And I was actually had that stupid LA film moment where I became one of them. I leaned against the car and went like, yeah, these hands, what are they capable of? Who am I? You know? And then these two guys walk by, and one guy goes, I stuck up for you in the restaurant. You were the only one who stood up to those guys. And the other guy goes, yeah, and besides, I'm a fan. You were just doing what you do on stage, raging against the plasticity of society. and so I said to my friend, well, where's my snakeskin horse shaped like a guitar named Elvis? I'm a hero. And I snapped back and I said, listen to that guy. Isn't it funny how you can get swayed?
Right.
By these soft talking guys who obviously are spiritual.
So 9 years in LA when there's nothing.
7.
Yeah.
I started on 7, so I guess that's why I said 9. Just whatever number comes in your head, just say it. And he doesn't stutter when he talks like his grandmother. What does that mean? I'm fine now. Or when I'm a Republican. I don't stutter at all. But when I'm me, I'm like, how do you get out of my head? How do you get me out of here?
I love the fact though that there's certain things that you bring into your act that are, I would say, more real than what most people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm taking a sip of water, so add a couple words.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the one and only Rick Shapiro.
I forget you're allowed to pause.
Yeah,
in life.
Yeah, you can pause all you want. That's it. You're free to do whatever you want to do, Rick.
I just talked 6 shows, like 4 shows each night.
Yeah.
And in LA, that's what I remembered about New York. In LA, it's 3 shows a week. So now I'm like, I don't need my wife anymore. I don't want balance.
Yeah.
I want to burn a hole through this guy. I always thought you would burn out like a cosmic fury, like a comet.
Yeah.
But you really end up with Parkinson's or a bad leg in an abandoned fireplace next to a guy in a robe who's proud of himself. You don't get to burn. You don't feel the flash.
Yeah, you thought you would burn out quick.
Yeah.
That would be it. You'd go out with some glory.
Instead, you get arthritis in your underwear.
Yeah.
Like walk me to the bathroom. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I really believe that.
Yeah, that's the final joke, I think, on all of us who thought, that we were, Jack Kerouac or whatever. You're just not. You're just a dude who's going to hang around for a while.
Yeah.
And everybody, like when you were a kid and they said James Dean died at 24, you're like, of course he did.
Yeah.
Why else would he want to stay around?
Well, young people who have any interest in that kind of lifestyle, you can't even imagine yourself at 20, and then you keep pushing that age back. By the time you're 20, then you're like, yeah, but I can't be 30. There's no way I could be 30,
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I outlived James Dean, I outlived Jimi Hendrix, I outlived John Belushi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I didn't want to.
Yeah, that was never the deal.
Even Jack Kerouac, I heard in an interview where they saw in the documentary, the girl that was interviewing him, he ended up at his mom's house,
St. Petersburg,
talking about,
Florida.
I'm going to jerk off to you on the couch after you leave. He told the interviewer something.
Yeah, he ended up basically at the time it was almost a retirement thing, and they said that kids would show up wanting to take him in cars, and he was just like, no, I'm not interested, man. I just want to stay here and watch the Beverly Hillbillies and drink. Everybody was so disappointed that he was still alive.
They just felt like they wanted to save him or take him on one last.
Yeah, they went looking for.
You have it forever.
Yeah, they went looking for the young Jack Kerouac.
Yeah,
and found this guy who was just beaten up by life. Like what happens to most of us.
Yeah, beaten up. Be beautiful. Like I when I talk about my life, I can't stop to telling stories.
Yeah.
or stuttering. The self-deprecation is so comedic in a diseased way. But I love, I hung out with some friends, and my friend, this kid who comes to gigs, he borrows money, drives from Rhode Island, and he's the greatest kid, and he always brings some girl who's like 18 and wants to screw around. So, but this one didn't want to, and she had bullets for a dress. It was just bullets, and she was proud of being a squatter, even though she was wearing expensive clothes.
Yeah,
and I found myself almost at the end of the night, like grabbing her, saying, "Look, what if it was so right that we couldn't see what was in front of us because it's so right, and we're not used to seeing so right. It's the opposite of what looks right." You know, and she was like, "I'm sorry I gave you the wrong idea." I said, wait, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about exploration. She's like,
Rick Shapiro's in studio.
Riding a bike or something.
Rick's performing at Chicago at North in Chicago, Thursday, December 10th at 8 p.m. Go to rickshapiro.tv for all additional dates and more information. On Twitter, it's at Rick Shapiro TV. And we'll be on the Anthony Cumia show tomorrow at 4 p.m. Go to anthonycumia.com.
That's going to be a weird deal at Anthony's thing. Have you ever done his new show down there?
No, I can't wait.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. He's got a studio down, and he's adding more and more shows all the time. And, yeah, it's a really cool setup, you know?
Yeah, he's a great man. He really is.
Well, there's only a couple people that can really make you laugh and think at the same time. Obviously, you're one of those people.
I appreciate that, man.
And my thing is, my favorite thing in life is when you disagree even a little bit, but you're still laughing at the thing. And then later you're thinking about it and you go, do I disagree? I thought I disagreed, but
I don't think anything could sway you more, because then I think you've got someone. If you've made them laugh, you know, that means you've connected with them. And I think that kind of stuff stays with you so much more.
Yeah.
And you're right. Even if you disagree with someone wholeheartedly, you'll find yourself pondering that idea later. Like, well, if they made me laugh, they must have connected with something truthful.
Yeah. And it's weird because that's not where they're going. Now comics are just, my friend calls them low-hanging fruit.
Right.
The audience just grabs it at the comedy gives them the easiest thought. And it's all this slow talk, and he's almost just humoring them. Almost scared, like, you know, then grabs his check and leaves, where I assume I'm fired and grab my check.
Right.
But William Blake, wrote this great line that, and I didn't go to school, you know. Mm-hmm. I just stumbled across these things, and he said, like, every human being has the potential for prophecy. And it really made me realize, what makes a Martin Luther King? What makes a guy stand on his own and care about, you know, the audience more than the usual care. And when I would reach in, you know, the owners would be like, you can't do that. But I said, but you should be standing on stage when I see a guy who looks like he can't stand me, and all of a sudden go like, you're telling my story, man. You're telling my thoughts. You know, my pain. Cause the pain is easy to see.
Yeah.
You know, we know what's wrong, but and the country goes, and you go like, didn't I just know what was wrong? What was that thought? Did I know what I wanted to eat or what was wrong? You know? And, when the mortgage thing came out, the scandal and all that.
Yeah.
I walked into a club and I looked at it, something was off. And I said, the angry comic is not as angry as the audience now. The audience is now angry. They just found out that their homes were just taken, their father's home was just taken. They found out they were lied to. So it was now the angry comedian's thing to give them more than just being angry about a store or something. You know, and I because people go like, and the audience has changed. And it's a phenomenon, except it's stand-up New York with all Jewish Republicans.
Yeah.
And they don't even understand Judaism. Like, Jews don't want to bomb palaces, don't want to bomb people's homes. You know, that's like the opposite of you know, Judaism is about compassion, even being defiant against oppressors. Not, they don't want to make kids and women and men run out of their homes. This guy what's his name? Netanyahu?
Yeah.
I went to Palestine. I solved the peace process. I replaced all the rocks with little rubber balls. Oh, they're having such a good time now, and there's no name calling. That's my worst joke.
Well, I remember the same feeling happened after 9/11. If you were here in the city, the last thing you wanted to think about is somebody else getting bombed or somebody else feeling, if you were running for your kids that day and grabbing them, and then you turn on the news and people are like, well, we got to hit back. You're like, man, I was just in a place to see that it isn't like the movies. It's fucking horrific. Why don't we chill? But the thing that I love about you is that blue light that hits where somebody actually says in a crowd room, hey, this is reality that we're experiencing right now. We're not here to escape reality.
Yeah.
Let's embrace it. And that makes you an incredibly unique person on stage.
Wow, that's so cool to hear. That's my LA side. I've learned to say thank you, and thank you.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, well, I'm not going to go off, but I think I have to now. I walk by these guys. Well, I was struggling what you said. It was so interesting. But I forgot, so now I gotta go into the thing I was gonna go off on.
Sure, go ahead.
I was walking by these guys, and I smiled at them. I don't smile. But I've been in LA so long, and over comics, when I tell comics out there, that was great. If I say anything twice, I'm lying. That was great. That last joke, and I'd be running out. And so today I walked by these tough guys in Harlem, and I smiled, and I looked at them, and they look mad at me, which I know what it means. They're just hanging on the street.
Yeah.
I used to say, don't say hi. I was shocked by people saying hi to me in LA. Don't. Just leave us all alone. And then I smiled at him, and then I looked at him, I said hi, because he was angry, and he goes, no, we don't want any. And I was about to say, no, I'm from LA. And I disgusted myself. I can't, and yet, because of my wife, now that I have a wife, and we were opposite, I feel like it's okay. You don't have to. She taught me a lot of things. She gave me these nice things I didn't want. I really didn't want to get married. She was smart and pulled an ultimatum. I couldn't move. My body was in so much pain, and she said, no one will wipe my ass but her, and I couldn't argue with that. I said, all right, I'll marry you. I actually said, fucking fine.
Yeah.
And she took that as a happy yes and came back. When you know not to marry a guy who says fucking fine, but she didn't know.
Right.
And this woman told me, because you don't understand, she's not what you think. She's a mastermind. I look at it years later, it's like she knew exactly what she was doing.
Yeah.
And I resented her, and I still talk about if I cheat or whatever. And now I find out, and this actually happened. We had a fight. We were going to break up, I thought. Or I used as an excuse to call up a girl. Mm-hmm. And she came over, and I couldn't stand how drunk she was. I said, instead of cheating, now I take girls to rehab. I called up her friend. I said, I want Tookie to go to rehab.
Right.
Are you her friend? Are you her friend? I was like, what am I, an adult now? Are you her friend? You must come by.
We're all taking her together.
Yeah, to a place called Hope, which cracked me up.
Hope.
That was the name of the place. I'm driving to a place called Hope. That's why I see life now more like a globally humorous, more asinine.
Right.
The minute you bump into an asshole, or the minute you are one, everything comes into view. Whereas my friend goes like, "Oh, but that's an awful reality." No, I said, but it's a riot.
Yeah.
I didn't know I had that eternal comedian, like you said, blue light bulb in there. I didn't know. I thought I had to work at this, and I'll keep looking at my notes. 20 years later, because I'm still insecure, about my shit. I still don't believe I'm a comedian. And then I see it in my talk more and more, because the Parkinson's is absurd. I don't know if I have it. I box. I box because I have Parkinson's. I was a chain smoker before I had it, and now I'm like, I box, and I go, when somebody says, they use expressions like, listen to your body, man. And I'm like, why? And now I go, oh, I guess I do need a nap,
Yeah. I think that's the other side of that thing of us saying we didn't expect to stay alive.
Yeah.
Then you're also surprised that wisdom comes into your life, which is much different.
That you enjoy. It's not. You never thought you use the word enjoy.
Yeah.
I enjoy those moments of wisdom.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like me.
Yeah.
I really kind of believe like God wanted us to burn out and have a blast, but science and man took us further than we fucking belong.
Yeah. I know when I was younger, and the old men in my life were all like 40. You know, I mean, these guys had worked in factories, and they were real street guys, and they used to come over, and I remember they would all be all done up on a Sunday. They would just be wearing, you know, these were blue-collar guys, but on a Sunday they would dress up and put cream in their hair, and they would be so tired they'd fall asleep with like cigarettes in their mouth. And now I look back and I'm like, they're the same age as guys now who play video games and go to fucking cartoon movies. You know what I mean?
That's really amazing. What you're saying.
These guys were they had been through so much.
And I'm sure those guys would even take a look at the generation before them and feel the same way. Like, you ever see really old photographs, turn of the century, where you're like, oh my God, those people look so hard. And they're 21 years old.
Yeah.
But they just look like they've lived a million years, and they've got all these kids around them. And you're like, how is that person younger than me? You know, it's bizarre.
And the work they had to do before that generation and the generation before me, and I mean, it's amazing when they had to work 4 jobs, and now we're back to that actually.
Yeah,
it's amazing to hear a guy goes to lunch now. There was a story about a guy who went to lunch with his sons, working 3 jobs, and then there's a picture of him on the front page of the Times carrying a gun, walking to Cairo.
Right.
And it's like he just did what he had to do with his kids, and now he's doing what he has to do. It was an amazing thing. Because I wish that would happen here, you know? But it almost seems like we have a structure where it just can't. Like, there's a guy, I mean, I was just watching Trump with his crap.
Yeah.
You know, online a guy was showing me stuff like, how he says, we need to stop outsourcing, and then David Letterman shows him his shirts are made in China, and Donald Trump goes like this. Just makes face like, so what?
Yeah.
You know, and so he makes Republicans, now I know a lot of Republican suburbanites, and they're morons. Now they're, you know, if you bring up an issue, they'll be like, so what? You know, they just parrot Trump. Like, you did them, and that's what a guy said the other day. I said, can I borrow that newspaper? He goes, it's a rag. It's a rag. It's a Democratic rag. You know how Democrats, if you pick your nose and make a big deal out of it. Well, actually, they have more humanity than the Republicans, if it is a 2-party system anyway.
Right.
But the guy, I realized, I didn't understand his answer. I was like, yeah, it's a rag. They take a nose picking thing. And I said, wow, I never heard that one before. And I realized that's what Trump is doing. He's doing like, so what? Can you get the demonstrator out of here? Get him the hell out. Did you see that clip? And it's like, so now the idea is to be a flip moron. If you say you're a moron, they go like, so what? You know, might as well take it down to that. But that's from bumping into Bill O'Reilly's picture, going into the wrong.
You were next door.
Yeah, it's like I got his balls in my coffee.
Well, the Trump thing is interesting because I wonder, even if he does win, he'll see that it's a deeper pool than he even suspected. I don't know if anyone can get anything done one way or another in this country anymore. It just seems like it's clogged, man. You know,
it's weird. But I think my thought is he's at the power tables that we don't know about, so he knows what's going on. You know, that's why he's a pig. He's at the power table. But the thing is, he admitted in his mind Romney's good. So, cause I see it as a dog and pony show. So they're switching cards. Now he's gonna back Romney. That'll get Romney elected cause they don't know for sure they'd vote for Donald Trump, even though they're saying that now they would, but when it came to push, but so now he backs Romney. Like it's a ruse. It's gotta be a ruse that he's up there. Like to take your mind off what's going on, and then he shocks you with a Romney thing, and they're like, wow, he backed out. I get, Romney's that now, and even some hardline, Democrats will be like, well, Romney, he's not Trump. Like it was just amazing.
All right, I got to let go of you because you've got another...
I monopolized. I wanted to ask you stuff.
No, we were going to do that, but...
No, I want to ask you stuff.
You've got another interview at 3 o'clock, I'm being told. Where is he going next?
Jay Thomas.
Oh, you're going to do Jay Thomas. We're going to do this more. You're going to come into New York, right?
Yeah, but I really wanted to ask you stuff. I don't know what's going on with me today.
Well, that's okay. We'll do it next time. And I'm going to see you tomorrow down at Anthony's thing as well.
Okay.
One more time. There's only a couple comics who have ever gone out and worked the way Rick Shapiro has. It's really, from an artistic point of view, just a brilliant career. And what you're doing now is really, really interesting.
Oh, I want to go like, which set did you see?
But go, I know you got the next interview.
In December is doing part of the Chicago thing. We're shooting a DVD.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool.
I'd like to meet you guys too, so hang out more.
All right, we're going to do this more, all right, my friend?
I hope so, man.
All right, I'll see you.
I got questions for you, so maybe I'll start a podcast.
And then bring me on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Let's make sure we get him to his next spot.
We'll do.
Always. Chris, do the plug.
Rick Shapiro has been in studio. Rick will be on the Anthony Cumia Show tomorrow at 4 p.m. Go to anthonycumia.com. And Rick's performing in Chicago at North in Chicago, Illinois, Thursday, December 10th at 8 p.m. Go to rickshapiro.tv for all additional dates and more information. And on Twitter, it's at Rick Shapiro TV.
All right, Rick is up. We're going to, are we going to wrap this up, or you want to plug your Scope Bro t-shirts again, Chris?
At hashtag Scope Bros.
Take your time. It isn't at hashtag Scope Bro. You were saying if anybody wants to buy your t-shirts.
You go to the ibang.com and it's on the top right corner. Hit the store button and you can pick yourself up a Scope Bros t-shirt.
Now, let me just, all right, see you, my friend. Thank you so much. Here's Rick dealing with Parkinson's and everything that's going on, and he's got his shit better together than you do. What's that feel like for you?
Feels like I don't have it.
He's one of my favorite people because I see everything that he deals with. And you don't have to agree with him politically, by the way, to know that he's in there thinking about this shit. I know that we all disagree on most political things, but it's amazing what kind of guy he is.
It was phenomenal to talk to him. What an incredible storyteller, and he's so damn smart.
He really is. And the politics is only, I don't want anybody to be swayed by that. Most of his stuff is just social and life stuff. Are you okay, Chris? You look all disturbed here at the end of the day. What happened? You started off so great today.
You had a great day. Was it too much excitement?
I was very excited, and the arm started acting up.
Well, here's the other thing that went bad. Mike Racine, Chris thought that he was joking. Mike got his feelings hurt and thought Chris was serious and said, okay, I'm going to go. I don't want to get in the way of the other guy.
Oh, no.
You don't know him good enough to do your Stanley thing with.
That's my problem. I'm going to have to give him a call later today to try to smooth things over.
It would have been better if you did it here as the producer of the show instead of when I tried to get you guys together, you said, oh, you didn't let that bother you, and then you ran off to the bathroom.
Not good with human interaction. Off or on the air.
Then Joe's got to step up and be my, producer guy, and you could be the performer guy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's sad because today was his day.
Today's this big special day.
And then what else? Oh, he didn't send one of our people down to pick up Rick, and he got all confused, and he was coming in here. And I don't know why you depend on the booking department to do that.
They told me I got it. I should have just said that. No, I got it. That was my problem. That was my fuck up.
Well, you know Rick, right?
Yeah. I know Rick and Tracy.
Well, you know that he's not going to be caught up in all that. But that feels bad because we started so happy for you today. Then all the guests were great, but I see you at the end of the show and you're all upset.
I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling good about myself.
Maybe you got to stop drinking on your days that you need to Party out. So you want Joe to handle some of these things?
Yeah, I'll have Joe handle some of them.
So have Joe handle. Am I going to go see that documentary People tomorrow? Because, I'm as far along as I can with it. Have him find out whether the other thing's going down tomorrow night. Have him figure out the other show I'm going to do Sunday night.
Yeah.
Because I'm not hearing back from you on all this stuff.
Joe's going to take care of it.
Everything?
Joe's got it.
All right, Joe, you
I got
just moved up to executive producer.
Wow.
All right.
How did that happen?
Got it.
You got it?
Joe's
got
gonna,
it. Yeah.
Joe's going to take care of it. Joe's going to take care of it.
Oh, you'll be doing the plugs now, too.
All right.
I like plugging things.
And you're getting a scope, Joe's.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Scope Joe Totes.
This is happening so fast.
I'm also getting a sling for your arm.
All right. I'll do it.
That's what we're used to. We like to see producers with slings and
I don't want to, just disrupt everything.
Wasn't this the cutest thing with Rick? Wait, I want to ask you a bunch of things about your life.
It was so cute.
Isn't that adorable?
He's awesome.
Yeah, I get the biggest kick out of him.
So great talking to him.
And, the stuff that he's doing for Marin is getting other people to notice him, which is always the funniest shit in this business. Why do you have to see somebody have success with someone else before you give them that shot? You yourself can't see what success is? You fucking drive me crazy.
Yeah, that happens constantly.
Constantly.
Or, it's like that with people or an idea. We're like, I didn't realize this type of thing was valuable until...
Well, remember when Mickey Rourke did the fucking wrestler? So everybody threw a bunch of movies at him after that, and you're like, he was always Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, dude has always been great.
Or whoever Tarantino brings back and says, look, I'm going to give this guy a break. Then everybody else is going, well, I want him too. You fucking idiots. You could have just had him last year, the year before. All right, Thursday and Friday, we're running the Thanksgiving show. You guys are going to love them. Thanks to all the Scope Bros who got the Scope Bro to trend today. That was really great, and it was great for Chris.
It was wonderful.
Well,
it means everything.
I should say this. It was great for Joe.
Wait, Thank
you.
He's the new Chris.
Thank
He's
you.
the guy doing the work that you're
I have all
doing.
the answers to all those questions. I don't know why I said Joe. Gave it up to Joe. I have all the answers to everything.
You don't.
Yes, I do. I'll give once the show's over.
But you wouldn't say.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I feel crazy.
Give me the good leads.
I have all the answers. You need no leads.
Give him the Glengarry lead.
He's not getting anything. It's my goddamn job.
If you give it to him right now, it'll look like he's got. I'm like, his first day as executive producer.
Jesus Christ, he is literally the answer to every question I want to know.
I have all the answers.
Some of these things, there's no way.
How do you do it, Joe?
Keep it all here.
Not gonna lie, Chris told me.
Not gonna lie, Chris did all the work, and I'm taking the credit.
I'm reaping all the benefits.
All right, that's it for us. Fun show today.
We love you, Scope Bros.
We are live tomorrow. So we'll see you back here again tomorrow, and we'll see you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!